and every time I went live, it would tweet that, hey, I'm live at this link. And it's just like a very robotic tweet. And I just started using Twitter again at the start of this year, and I went through and there were like hundreds of just, I am live, here's the link. I am live, here's the link. And I was just like, oh God, I'm so sorry for the like 10 people that follow me. Anyways, we are officially live.
Oh, can we say the bad word now?
No, we're supposed to say that out before this stream.
I think we're allowed like one bad word per stream.
Yeah, if we get 2 F-bombs,
that ain't
then we
true.
become rated.
But like one.
For my personal reasons, I rate the content produced on this channel PG-13, and I rate the Nobles as probably the one that's rated R because Jackal is a fun player to play with, but he is not the best at controlling his language, which is, I don't ask anyone to, but
I try.
Yeah, I think there's easily nights where it's just like 8 F-bombs achieved, new achievement unlocked.
But I'm a pirate.
Yeah, and again, I don't ask you guys to control your language because
get
this
creative.
content is not rated for, or is not appropriate for children. Anyways, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. We are playing D&D tonight, Dungeons and Dragons. Everything you're going to see tonight is live storytelling. It is a role-playing game, and we are going to have a butt-ton of fun. Like what was just stated beforehand, if you're under the age of 14 and you're watching this, please consult your parents as you're going to encounter content that is not appropriate for you, as we are dealing with pirates and criminals tonight, which will be lots of fun for people who the content is appropriate for. That's kind of one of those weird pitches of just like, if you're a kid, don't do drugs, but we adults are all going to do drugs because it's lots of fun.
Yeah.
That's basically what that was.
Yeah. Anyways, if you want to know more about the world, we're playing in a homebrewed campaign setting. You can see this right here on the side of the screen or in the name of the description of the video, and Google search it. There's a website and a wiki with more information. You can read about the cool stuff about our setting. And the final thing that needs to be said, this is the Scholars episode 9 of their campaign. We have a full party tonight, and we have a new player joining us. Wesley, do you want to introduce yourself now and say like 2 sentences about your character, or do you just want to do it organically?
I can introduce myself. Hi everybody, I'm Wesley. If you've been watching Brandon's channel for any length of time, you've probably heard me before. I've been with Brandon since, I think, the very beginning, and glad to be back for another campaign to drive him nuts.
I was
Since
just like
he was a
low-key
baby
thinking,
boy.
Yeah.
There.
I was low-key thinking somebody's like, oh no, the shit lord's back. I'm just kidding with you.
Oh, no, it's accurate.
Oh, that's our first curse word of the night.
Oh no!
It's
Nope, it's the
already
second
going
one.
down.
You said but.
Oh, fair. That's the third thing. Shelley.
But
Let's hit the recap so we can jump into tonight. I don't have a huge... Oh gosh, I've got my music open in the background, and that's good that I didn't hit play. I don't have a huge amount planned for tonight, but just giving you guys more space to kind of absorb everything that's happened, and then we'll see the direction we go in. So, last session starts on the 25th of Noble. The party was just recovering from a fight with Dean Doolin after capturing her, and coming into Beechwood Retreat to heal from some of their injuries and to secure passageway back to their base of operations in the island of Coven. From there, leaving the beach side along the path heading into Beechwood Retreat, they got back on the road heading towards the city. As they got close to the city, they decided to split into 2 separate groups, as it wouldn't be the easiest time parading Dean Doolin through the streets of Beechwood Retreat. And so half the party stayed outside of the city on the hills overlooking it, camping out and waiting for the rest of the party to come, while the other half of the party went into the city in order to heal Inaziah of the ghost's magical effects, where it drained out his vitality, to secure magical travel back to the island of Coven, and I believe those were the only two goals. As the party went into the city, they contacted their contacts inside of the Silver Sigil and got pointed in a direction of some people who could help them. They were pointed towards a merchant whose entire dealings is selling healing and medicinal supplies to various healing houses around the city. That merchant's name being Alexa Calavera. As they were leaving the Silver Sigil's headquarters inside of Beechwood Retreat, one of the members informed them that the streets are getting more violent as whatever this faction is that is targeting down members of the Silver Sigil's ranks and females inside of the city is growing more aggressive by the day, and another Silver Sigil agent caught a dagger to the chest as they were on their way back to the headquarters. The party took that in stride and headed to see Alexa Calavera. While meeting with Alexa, he was in talks with another merchant, talking to a man named Verlicus. Alexa Calavera told the party that Verlicus was kind of harmless, even though Verlicus was there and kind of angry and upset about some of the things going on in the city. When asked why is he making dealings with Verlicus, as the party has insight that this is not one of the best people, the party found out that it is a strong belief of Alexa's to try and help everybody he possibly can, and he thinks he can help rehabilitate Verlicus by putting him on a better path for his life. Verlicus got agitated at Alexa accepting a meeting while he was already in one and left. From there, the party talked with Alexa, and Alexa used a scroll of greater restoration, having some levels as a cleric himself, but not being a high-level cleric. Alexa was not able to properly make use of the spell, as he failed the spellcrafting check and the scroll crumbled into dust in front of him, and Inaziah remained unhealed. From there, Alexa pointed the party towards one of the healing houses that he has a close reputation with, and somebody that would probably have the magical ability to aid the party. Even at this time, as I believe by the time they were here talking to Alexa, it was like the afternoon. From there, the party left. They got contact, or rather, Verlicus was waiting outside for them. As Alexa offered them words of wisdom and aid, Verlicus said, "You can forget all of that nonsense, and if you want to make a bunch of money, you should roll with me," and offered the party work. The party was hesitant and split down the middle on whether or not to accept the offer of work from Verlicus, and after, I believe he told you guys where you could find him. I didn't see it in the recap, but I'll skim through the session. But for tonight, we're going to play off the assumption that if you really needed to find Verlicus, that I'm fairly certain he told you guys where you can find him. That said, moving from there, the party went to the healing house. At the healing house, it appeared nobody was there. After doing a little bit of further investigating, the woman who was supposed to be running it had been tied up and stuck in a magical circle that had silenced her. And as you know, you cannot cast spells inside of a silenced area. It appeared once the party busted into her room, there was some sort of, not assassin, because if it was an assassin, they would have obviously killed this lady, but some sort of zealot there doing a strange ritual. They had cut the woman up, and her blood was pouring all over the floor, and on the floor they were drawing a sigil with her blood as the paint for such a thing. After interrupting this, the intruder tried to flee. Brahm tried to stop her, and after a bout back and forth, summoning magic, she was able to knock Brahm unconscious, sending him into death throes. Before Brahm could actually roll any death throes, the intruder ran away and fled into the streets of Beechwood Retreat, and Inaziah ran over to Brahm and healed him. Going back to the cleric, after getting the cleric out of her bindings and out of the silence area, she was able to heal herself with the magic she had available, claiming she was done with this healing house and moving to a safer part of the city. After such, thanking the party for her rescue, she cast Greater Restoration on Inaziah, healing Inaziah of the horrifying visage that Inaziah had seen that had drained his vitality. From there, the party all reconnected with each other and headed outside of the city to meet up with their companions and inform them of the travel they had secured. They did get travel. They got a contact from Zav Calavera, who told them the contact could help teleport them. After meeting up with the party, it was decided that Nyoka would take the horses to the merchant on the east side of the city, sell the horses, and get the as much money back for the party as possible. And when the party returned, as this was happening, on the flip side, while all of this was happening inside the city, Lex, Lazi, and Azure were left at the camp with Dean Doolin. I had to remember everybody. And it was their job to watch over Dean Doolin. This camp was a little bit off the road, but not too far off the road, as it's not uncommon for people to be traveling the road in and out of Beechwood Retreat in excess, and it's not uncommon for people to camp off of the road outside of the settlements of the city. The party's encampment, 4 travelers had walked by, saw the party camped out here, and asked if they could sit down and share a drink with the party. After some hesitation, Azure and Lex allowed them to sit and drink with the party, or sit and drink with them. It was nightfall by the time the rest of the party came back, and came across a very drunken, happy scene across the, or rather for the encampment of the party. So we are going to pick up right there. As a long recap, tried to get as much of it. It's 3.5 hours into like 10 minutes. So
well done.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to pick up there. It is the night of the 25th of Father. You are outside of Beechwood Retreat. Looking down the hillsides, you can see into the town, all of the various pillars, buildings, lights, lanterns, lighthouses, Bayflame, which is the Mage's Tower, etc. All starting to come on at sunset. And just contrast against, the darkness that's creeping over the land. The party themselves have a fire going, and
Is this Brandon? Am I taking the horses now, or have I finished that? And
I'm gonna roll you're taking the horses now.
Okay.
It doesn't take you long to ride them, to the stable, and walking back would be your biggest thing. So I will be very conscious of that, and I'll tell you when Nyoka's back with the party.
That's fine.
Otherwise, what does everybody want to do?
Kirith, I'm going to leave you with the bag of holding. So if I do get robbed, it's just what I have on me.
Copy that. Do we have the wizard who's going to teleport us out? Have we engaged them yet, or is that still to...
No, you guys wanted to connect with your party, sell the horses, and then move forward on contacting the wizard. The wizard has not been contacted.
And was that the one we heard about in the tower when we first arrived?
No, it was another one, but they are stationed at the tower, if that makes sense. That person's name I can pull up for you, too.
Well, Brandon, the original deal was they were supposed to meet us out here.
Oh, yes. You are right, Shelby. You guys asked Zav if you can tell them to meet you outside the city. Which was a very, very rare thing for anyone in that tower to do, which is why you had to go with someone else. So lots of stuff there. But no, they have not met you outside of the city yet, although you can expect
Are they on their way, or we're expecting them? Okay.
Yeah, you're expecting them.
Okay.
So as previously stated, Azur will be nursing his drinks. He's not really drinking merrily with them and getting drunk. He's keeping his wits and just participating in the revelry in a mild manner, not deeply indulging.
Azur's being
Nayaka,
party
do you want
pooper.
someone else? Nayaka, do you want someone else to go with you? It's much better to go in pairs than alone.
Yeah, whoever. You,
Any volunteers to go with Nayaka?
I'll go.
Thank you, Brown.
I could go as well if negotiating is needed.
No, we already negotiated.
Alright, be careful. Make sure to redeem people if you find them.
Yeah, we kill them if we need to.
Only if they're attacking you for no reason.
Naoka is gonna ignore the comment.
Any
Pretend
attack
like-
is no reason.
Pretend like you know what he's talking about, while vice versa.
Alright. I am looking.
These people.
Oh, these are our drinking buddies today. They've stopped by traveling along the road.
Oh, okay.
I introduced them around.
Is
Okay.
that
Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to find like the perfect music for this, but I've got no luck. And I should have did this before. That's not it. I'm gonna try one more music or one more thing, and then we'll just move forward.
Do you have the Black Flag soundtrack? Can you play that through here?
The black. I wish I could.
you two don't like that kinda?
Oh yeah. We'd have to go through such a process to get permissions.
Yeah, God forbid we have fun
Yeah.
with music.
It's so easy to get like your video have all of its sound removed. All right. Well, that is disheartening, but we'll live. All right. So, you asked about the people around the fire.
Yeah, I introduced them around.
Yeah, Wesley, you can give us a description of what your character looks like.
Alright, so, my character is a human male, wind and sunborn, but still of a moderately pale complexion like northern folk are. He's, a hair under 6 feet, dirty blonde, short cut beard and all kind of scruffed up. He's fairly strong in the physical stature, covered with and most of him is covered with either tattoos or scars. he's got pretty gnarly hands that have seen a lot of war, wear and tear, and he's got a ring of some kind on every finger, a necklace, and then like another necklace that has a symbol of Umiya on it, a gold tooth, and he's got a silk sash around his stomach that's got 2 daggers and what looks like the handle of some kind of firearm sticking out of it. And the rest of him is pretty much covered with like leather satchels of some kind, and there's a coiled whip on his, I guess, his right hand side. Fairly big fella, and he is well and gone into his mug, which he's pouring beer out of a kind of a strange jug that he has been carrying with him.
Sitting.
And he's just
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm done.
Well, I was going to say, sitting alongside this man, you see, there is going to be a person on the other side of the fire, and they are going to be tall also, with a freckled face and red hair pulled into a ponytail. And then along with that one, you are going to see another person of an equal build. They have a cloak over them as they are laughing at another person dancing with a stick on the other side of the fire. Among all of these people, I think the first mate would be the first one to speak up, as the burly redheaded one is going to stand up and say, "Doff! First mate Doff! Oh, we're celebrating a life lived with new friends. And this is my crew. This was our crew." The one who is dancing with the stick's going to raise his glass from the ground, picking it up, and say, "To Captain Timper," as they all join in and say, "To Captain Timper."
To Timper and doff the beached whale.
Oh, Tempest. Chief. As y'all want some more beer, it's free. Comes out of this jug I made. Ooh.
Greetings, sailors.
I'm not a sailor, I'm a chief petty officer.
Yes, Chief Petty Officer.
Will.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The one who is sitting next to Doff is going to stand up and say, "Name's Deckhand Thav. Don't know if you can sail much without a ship these days. Well, if you need sails, I can put you together something good."
Sailors looking for a ship. Interesting. My name is Kai Stelson, and I am a wizard and merchant, and these are my companions, who can speak for themselves.
Can they, though?
Well, you've already met me. I'm Azur. Paladin. I like to bring people back to themselves from the brink.
Brink for what?
The brink of evil and terrible things that they've done in their lives.
Lex starts sweating.
Lex, would be here drinking with them too, if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Have some beer. It's free.
Lex accepts some, but doesn't drink any. It's just kind of like, oh, thanks.
The man who was fencing with the stick is going to speak up and say, I'm Jackson, and it's been interesting sitting here hearing Azure's tales. And Thav is going to say, yeah, it has.
Definitely have a story or two in my lifetime to tell.
Doff is
ready for another?
Yeah, Doff is going to say, as much as you've told, you've actually shared very little. Thav speaks up and says, most roads lead to somewhere, and here you're sitting off of one that leads to one of the most important places. And Doff is going to lean up, looking up from the campfire. So what brings a group like yours outside of the walls and buildings of Beechwood Retreat? Normally a little bit scary out here for folks such as thin as yourselves.
A motion to Kayeth.
He is very small.
Thav is going to put a hand over his mouth and just blow towards Kayeth with just like a wind of...
Lex, despite being smaller, also says that he's very small.
Well,
no,
yes,
I mean, Kayeth, go ahead and speak.
my magic's more than make up for my stature, I can assure you, and we have very little to fear being out here. We are looking for many things at the moment, but interestingly, one of them is a plan to acquire a ship, and it's you're looking for a ship to sail, is that correct?
So the deckhands are all, or rather the pirates are all going to look amongst each other before finally like settling a glance on Wilbert, and Doff's going to say, "Now we're out of the game. Our captain just died on us. It really makes you look at where your life's been and where it's heading."
And yours is heading landward, I take it.
Doff's gonna shake his hand and say, I won't speak for all of these fellas, but our crew split in half. Captain was real good to us, and they weren't too good to her. We did her right. Gave her a proper burial, found her family, tried to give them a little bit of gold so they'd be good without her. Old Captain's resting easy now in the bridge. As
Well
for what
done.
that means for us, though.
Sounds like you've done right
Well,
with the situation.
an honourable gesture.
Just out of curiosity, where's Dane Doolin during all this?
Tied up.
She is tied up with Lazzy. Lazzy is eating something, staring at her, and sitting a little bit off from the fire.
Oh, there was a Noel and a tied up person back here this whole time.
Yes. Lazzy
They're
cannot
pirates, they
understand
don't care.
anything you say.
Wait, is Lazzy still scared of me?
Lazzy respects you. Lazzy doesn't know fear. Lazzy knows the imminence of death and respects strength.
Okay. Good enough.
If I remember correctly, Lazzy was like the glare you were giving the strangers around the campfire.
Oh, that's great. That's on character, too.
The only thing I'm looking for is a next ship.
Jackson, the swashbuckler, is gonna say, Wilbert, that life's gonna get you killed. Almost did all of us. We were lucky to get off that boat alive.
Luck ain't nothing to do about it. It was fortune is what it was. And a couple of good decisions.
Doff, the first mate's gonna raise his glass and say, "To fortune!"
To fortune!
To fortune! The rest of
Fortune!
More beer!
Chins are growing
Yes, to
already.
fortune.
And steady aim. I see.
Steady aim.
I grew up to be a man on the sea, and I'll die a man at sea. It's just, I can't. I'm not dying on land.
Sounds like you should hang out with us if you don't want to die. We don't do that.
Lex again starts sweating.
I mean, I wasn't planning on it, your company or not, but since she offered.
Nyoka, speak for yourself. I'm kidding.
Right. Well, that's part of it. He'd come back, you know? Everybody keeps coming back.
He's gonna draw one of his daggers and just kind of touch the scars. Every one of them. Death came, decided, nah, not today. So been playing a good hand so far, and I ain't stopping now.
Excellent.
Put this dagger back.
Kaif will look questioningly at Azure and speak telepathically. Of all the people you look to recruit, a drunk pirate who wanders up on the road? Really?
Am I able to respond to him telepathically or not?
That's ended right now, isn't it?
Let's see. I think with the new one, you can only speak to them.
Yeah, the new one doesn't let you talk back. So I think it's I don't know if there's an in-game way of doing that, but yeah, it's
Yeah, and you know, we wrote it as like the potency of, you know, Kaya's powers, like he grows stronger. His focus in this one area is just kind of waning. Let's see, you can speak telepathically to any creature you see. Your telepathic utterances under your communication doesn't give the creature the ability to respond to you telepathically.
Alright, let's see if we had any mutual languages that are not common.
Kaif will just shake his head. Kaif will just shake his head and speak telepathically again. It's your choice, but whew. And then he'll just go and hand him one of the silver sigil test pieces of paper.
Azur will just start talking about what he's learned about Wilbur's skills, basically, in some kind of a question. Like, tell me about your experience with the forge and things like that.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a shipwright per se, but I made a part of a boat I placed one point or another. I can anything out of steel I can make it. You throw enough coin at me, also I make things. I make a lot of. I made this jug. It's got free beer in it.
Create magic jug.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, and I made this. Oh, Bridge, what else did I make? He kind of fumbles around. Yeah, this, and he pulls out the flintlock. Looking, it's kind of waves it around in the air.
As you do, a couple of the, well, not a couple, the three other deckhands are going to say, whoa, Wilbur.
What? I know what I'm doing. It's fine, see? And he'll put it back in the set. Okay. No, I made it. And you give me enough time, and I'll make everything.
Very good. We have a friend who also makes things out of wood. I'm sure the two of you will get along very well.
Yeah. I always enjoy meeting fellow craftsmen.
So Azure gives a
Out
knowing
of
smile
curiosity,
to Kaya.
yeah, and Kaith is just giving him a "it's on you" look. Out of interest, have any of you come across flying ships in your travels?
Oh, that's just a bad idea.
Yeah, let me roll one for the first mate. And they're all going to look at each other and say, a ship that flies? Like, using the clouds as water or something?
Look. Nope. Warship's meant to be underwater. You put it here, it's not going nowhere but down, I'm telling you.
And he's gonna nod and say, yeah, here, to the earth. To the earth. They all cheer, and he's gonna say, tried to lift the ship once. Heavy son of a bitch that one was.
Yep, it was.
He's gonna shake his head and say, a ship in the air? Nah, I couldn't see it. Unless the winds go in a couple 100,000 miles an hour. Might keep the thing up there.
Some of the gales we went through, I felt for sure we would fly for a second, but you know the funny thing about flying is the landing. Ships ain't so good at landing.
Doff is gonna say the Tempest. That was a mighty fine vessel, though. That one sailed the waters. And he's gonna look to the fires and say, so lads, what do you think's in your future next?
Isaiah's gonna interrupt and ask if the Tempest was their ship.
He'll nod and say, it was. Jackson's going to raise a glass and say, to the Tempest!
The Tempest.
Doff
The Tempest.
kind of looks down a little bit.
Isaiah's gonna use Control Flame to make a foot of the fire. Send it slowly into the sky.
Oh, that's magic. Hey,
Fab
what
raises
is
the
that?
glass and
And
says,
Isaiah's
"Imagine."
a bit of a pyro.
Oh, hold on a second. Watch this. He's gonna take his cup and smash it. And then he's gonna pick it up and he's gonna cast mending on it. I can do magic a little bit. I think it's together, right? He's gonna push it in the first mate's face. Is that still broken?
Leslie, mending is a 1 minute casting time.
Oh, is it? Well, I was gonna say he's gonna cast a minute.
Yeah, so you begin, and like the cup is kind of like magnetically pulling its pieces together in a pile as you like pick it up, but it is nowhere near finished. And he's gonna chuckle and say, "Just you keep working at it, Wilbur."
I, Chief.
He'll look over at the party and whisper and say, "I've seen him do it before. It's real magic. Just takes a minute." At which point,
Commendable skill.
Fav is going to speak up and say, "Yes. What's next for me, first mate? I was always good at stitching the sails. I think I might go into town and try and stitch some fancy clothes for some rich peeps. Make myself a good coin or two doing that."
Indeed, you could.
At that, Thav, the one who was just speaking, is going to raise his glass a final time, downing it, or rather before he downs it, and says, "To the future."
Oh, dang it!
And he is going to turn it up before putting it down.
Future.
My cup's still broke.
Here, drink from mine.
Ah, you're a good egg. He's gonna drink it and hand it back. Oh, you need more beer? Over here. Or it's free.
Hold his cup out to get it filled again.
It splashes all over the place.
Thav is going to raise his hand and say, "Nah, think it's about time we part ways, boys. It was good for one last night, but I'll take my split of Temper's gold and head into the city and see what I can start for myself down there." Jackson's going to look over and say, "I'll give you 3 streets before you get stabbed." Thav is going to chuckle and say, "I'll take my luck with that." He's going to begin stumbling from the path back to the road.
Fair winds following Sneed, Chief.
Fair winds.
Oh, I hate to see him go. Is this cup fixed yet?
Is the cup fixed? Looking down at it, you have mended 1 cubic inch of it. Wait, let me see how much mending does. I think it's 1 cubic inch per...
I think it's a cubic foot?
Foot.
Or yard, maybe? I don't know.
Let's see. 1 foot in any dimension. Yes, the cup is fixed.
Hey.
As you look down at it.
Well done.
It holds beer and everything.
Yes, it does.
Jackson is going to be the final one, or rather not final one, going to be the next one to stand up and say, I think I'll protect the fool as he heads into town. I'm still good with my sword. Don't really want to fight it much anymore, but I hear this shield hand's recruiting. Might book passage there and see if I can actually do some good with my life. He's going to raise his glass to Doff and say, to one last good final journey. Doff is going to nod and say, for the adventure. They both clink, and he turns his glass upwards before placing it on the ground and following behind Thav.
Keep your mind open, that shield hand's a bitch.
Fair winds.
He's Doff is going to look over at Wilbert. Say, so you're gonna jump to the first crew offered to you? Say that again, Wesley.
First good one.
He's gonna nod and say, is this goodbye between us?
I mean, I'm sure I'll end up here again somewhere, someday. I ain't going to the bottom just yet, Chief. I ain't captain yet.
He's gonna nod and say, I'm gonna get an inn room inside of town. Nice one along the high docks. Change your mind, you're welcome to come stay.
You're a good egg, Chief, but can't keep my feet dry too long.
Just gonna nod and say, let's not call this a goodbye.
Ain't no such...
Until next time.
Ain't no such thing as goodbye, Chief.
He's going to raise a glass and say, to not saying goodbye to friends.
So
no goodbye.
Tonight, yep, that.
He finishes off his drink, and he's gonna start walking by Azure, and he's going to take out 13 coins and say, he's a good one. We've just been through a little bit of a rough storm lately. He puts 13 gold in Azure's hand and says, for the food he'll eat off you and any rooms he might need.
Understood.
When he comes
we'll
to
take good care of him.
Yeah. When he comes to, let him know that First Mate Doff looked out for his crew through and through. And he's gonna nod to the party and start heading towards
Fair
the
winds.
boat. Fair winds.
What was that amount again?
13 golden coins.
Alright.
Well, guess I gotta finish this thing off myself.
Wesley,
Yes.
roll me 4d20.
Well. Alright, let's see what we got here.
36. All right. After you and your companions found Captain Timper's family, you gave her a burial, and you made sure that her family was set for the rest of their days with, her gold from pirating. The split of what was left between you, you can add 36 gold to Wilbur's inventory.
So that brings me up to 46. I think I got 10 character creation.
Yeah.
Can afford a square meal and everything. Alright. Very good.
And you know what? I'm going to give you 1 loot point too.
Sweet.
And keep up with it on your character. If you want an item off of the loot chart, you can say it was, one of Captain Timper's possessions that you couldn't pawn off, or donate to your family.
Where do we find the chart now?
I'll link it to you, but it's in the character creation forum thread thing on your guys' channel. But I'll link it to you throughout later in this session. But I would like to say, ? Welcome to the party, Wilbur.
Hey.
Welcome.
Take care.
Clive will start preparing reports, so scribing away.
Oh, Azur will point to the paper that's probably at Will's feet by now, and say, "Oh, this is something that they like you to fill out before you can join us. It's sort of a test of sorts."
Yeah. Let's see. You'll pick it up.
Looking at it, it is 3 black ink dots on a paper. The dots are each a circle, a perfect circle. From their placement, they form a triangle.
Well,
It said fill out, but it's more a solve. It's not something to write on.
I mean, he's gonna turn it over. He's gonna hold it up to the firelight to see if there's anything shining through it. Puzzle, huh? Ain't giving me much to work off here, you know. I am not proficient in Arcana. Let's see. What can he do? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just remembering I told you I was going to send you something, and I'm doing that now.
Okay. That was good.
By the way, Shelby, I rolled a die earlier of how many minutes into the conversation it is before Nyoka gets back.
Yep.
Nyoka is cresting the hillside. He sees the fire of the party. In the distance, I'm assuming he sees the pirates with a torch heading down the road into the city. After a few moments, Nyoka is going to return to a scene of Wilbur staring at the entry puzzle of the Silver Sigil. I think Kaya is scribbling reports, and everybody else is free to describe what their character is doing.
Zur is just opening his mouth to talk to Lex and ask her. So how are you healing up? Have you any more pain?
I'm not dying, so I'm fine.
Is just exhausted from the events of the day and is looking for a spot to sleep.
And I need to roll one more check for you guys.
Nyoka, once he sees the Wilbur with the paper with the 3 dots, looks at Brahm and goes, "Looks like he recruited a new one."
I like his tattoos.
Yeah, me too.
Nyoka, in a very serious fashion, goes, "You want me to draw a tattoo on you?"
Well, he holds out his arm, and he goes, "Nah, I'm good." Because Brahm is covered in bright green tribal tattoos.
I mean, the only check that I can really make is a nature check, and I don't think that's going to help here.
Even unskilled, Wilbur can make a Arcana check, but sleeping it off and trying in the morning might be a better idea.
He'll hold a piece of paper up and put it in a side pouch. I mean, you said dots, I saw about 9 of them, so maybe we ought to sleep off, get some sleep, and then I'll look at it in the morning.
Sounds fine.
Where are we, by the way?
We're at a campfire here.
Yeah, you guys are on the road heading into Beechwood Retreat, looking down the hillside into the town. That said, you guys are a little bit off the road. You can see caravans and people on horseback trotting down and past the road every few minutes. So it's not uncommon for, to hear people. However, somebody does break off the road. They are not on horseback. They're walking with the torch towards your camp. That said, looking at them, they are in a traveler's cloak and long, dark robes with silver.
Azur will move Dean Doolin to make sure her face isn't showing.
Okay. And actually, Nyoka throws up a illusion
over Dean Doolin.
Over Dean Doolin. Okay. As you guys begin, covering Dean, Lazzy is going to stand up looking at the traveler. Lazzy's going to take its spear and begin moving around the fire, yapping the whole time, going, ah, 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 ah. The woman is going to stop, holding up her hands and pulling off her cloak. She's going to say, "My name is Noel. I was told by Advisor Calavera to meet you out here."
Welcome, wizard.
Excellent.
She's going to nod and say, "Of sorts."
Kath will stand and put away his papers. My name is Kyath Delson, and we are most appreciative of your assistance.
She's going to
It's
nod.
okay.
Ooh, somebody said something and they were really quiet.
Well, I said something. I just told Lazzy it's okay.
Oh. Lazzy doesn't understand common. Make me a performance check to demonstrate it with your body that she is friend.
Second here.
Azure is ready to do the same if need be.
Azure can provide the help action.
Okay.
Lazzy the Null. All right, yeah. So you are going to gesture like no, or rather, you can describe like however Inaziah does it. Or wait, no, that's Azure doing it. Azure can describe however they demonstrate that this lady is a friend.
Well, he'll rush up there next to the knoll and take on postures like he's seen him do when he's relaxed and around friends, and just really show him that that's the way he can behave now.
Okay. As you relax next to Lazzy, Lazzy's going to slowly relax, stomping over to where Dean was, grabbing whatever he was eating, picking it up off the ground and beginning to chomp on it again. The woman is going to pull out a tome and gesture towards a sigil and say, "You needed transportation back to Coven?"
That is correct. Before we begin, could we just have one moment? I need to confer with my comrades.
She's going to nod and pull out a piece of chalk, grinding up a little bit of it between her fingers and say, "I'll prepare the teleportation circle. When you're ready, let me know. I'd prefer not to stay out past the city walls this late into the evening."
I understand. Thank you very much. And Kyath will make a gathering in motion with everyone.
We'll say you might want to make that big enough for 10.
As many people who can fit through the teleportation circle can. It opens a portal on the ground.
Okay.
I regret to inform you all that I am no longer able to communicate with Lazzy. My ability was temporary, and now he can no longer understand me. Yes. So my suggestion is that we find a way to leave him here and not take him with us.
Nyoka is like, no. We should bring him to the Maven. There should be somebody who can talk to him or use magic to communicate with him.
Okay.
He would have a longer life there.
Are you two happy to take responsibility for his good behavior and keeping him informed of what's going on?
No problem.
Nyoka just looks at him and says, "You take responsibility."
Very well, Azure. It's good to see you stepping up twice this evening. That was all.
Good call.
You best get ready, Will. We're about to leave.
Before we go, can I have a word with you, Kai?
Of course, Nyoka. Kyath will go walk a bit distant.
And Nyoka goes, "You know I fight hard for Lazzy."
Not in detail. I assume it's some kind of kinship of how you came from a place similar to Lazzy.
Lassie and Nyoka are similar. The my tribe is also enslaved by the Grand Moto. He not a very nice giant. In fact, he very cruel. Me understand what Lassie going through. If we leave him here, he will die. His people will die. It's not right. Me understand. Naoko was lucky. He had the blue lady. He had you. He had the sigil. Lassie didn't have anybody. He had the Doolin. She no good to Lassie. She had ghosts penetrate him and beat him up. Me understand, Lassie. Me understand he is different. Me understand he difficult. He like Nyoka in that way. But Lassie could be very helpful to us. We may have to work hard. But like Nyoka, he's special. That's all Nyoka had to say.
Very well, Nyoka. It's an honourable intention that you have, and I support you in it. And maybe it would be useful if you could help teach Lassie Common, and then we could all talk with him, and that would make it much easier, because it's our inability to communicate that is my only concern.
I know. I don't know. He's kind of dumb.
Yes. One other. Where have you? I'd like to ask a favour. Would you be able to give me Dean Doolin's ruby pendant? It would be very important to me.
Oh, and with that, Nyoka takes it and hands it to him.
Thank you very much. I grew up in the Guild of the Ruby, and it's. I would like to see her have this when she's released after her interrogation.
Me thought it was something I could spend.
We'll find you things to spend, Nyoka.
You give it back to her? I thought we were taking her prisoner.
Yes, she's our prisoner.
Me not really understand what's going on here.
Let's talk about it later, perhaps. But for now, thank you very much for the ruby pendant, and if there's anything I can do with helping you with Lassie, please let me know.
Yeah, can you talk with him?
No, I can't. But if there's anything I can do, I would love to help.
Can you teach him common?
I would. I can try.
I'm sorry, Jamie. That was too funny. I couldn't resist.
Yes, Nyoka, I will try and teach your friend Lassie common. Kaif walks away a little bit downtrodden.
That's all Nyoka wanted. He walked back to.
Brandon, I'm not sure what languages I would know, having come out of where I have come from.
Let's see. Looking at your sheet. So you come from the islands around Rion, and I can look.
And the Plane of Shadow.
Oh and the Plane of Shadow. That's true. So you would have anything under the Spirian or the Sulami base languages. I'm just going to give you a list, and you can pick on, the languages that are relevant to your character.
Okay.
So as far as like the outer speech goes, from coming from the Plane of Shadows, would be Celestial, Abyssal, Infernal, Draconic, or Sunscript. from Sulami, which would be like the base languages of the Elven languages in Ilderon. It would be Elven, Sylvan, Druidic. Well, no, you want to have access to Druidic. Undercommon, Gnomish, or Old Tongue. All of those are dialects and languages that have built off of each other.
Okay. We'll take Draconic and Old Tongue. So I basically don't even know Common, in theory?
No, you do know Common, in addition to Common.
Great.
Yeah, at one point, Azure just looks up and's like, I have no idea what any of you are saying. Speaks in Elvish, or speaks in Draconic.
Right. Okay. Great, thanks.
Alright, does the party want to do anything else before leaving Beechwood Retreat?
Put out the fire?
Oh, yeah, that's a good method, or rather a good practice. Yeah, Azure is able to put out the fire, and Isaiah dies a little bit inside.
I was gonna say Isaiah would put it out with control flame, but that works too.
Fair. Returning to Noelle, she has the teleportation rune already scribed and chalked, or in dusted chalk that she's sprinkled over the ground, and she has casted a spell, and her hand is brimming with light as she is waiting to release it. As soon as the party approaches her, she's going to say, "Are you ready to transport yourselves to Coven?"
Kaif nods.
All right. She'll release the magic, and the rune on the ground will come alight, form a sigil, and teleport and open up, forming a portal. Those who are willing are able to go through.
Caius will be like, come Leslie, in like Elvish, Common, Dwarven, Old Tongue, waving frantically to see if he'll come.
Yeah, at the mention of Lazzy, he'll look over, and Lazzy will roll a free Arcana check. Lazzy is smart and knows what knows what a teleportation is. It's very, very, very fancy people magic of going places. Cloud giants do that. Lazzy is going to grab Dean Doolin and not do so well on that check, as far as rather than giving her the opportunity to follow, Lazzy kind of drags her by a leg. Dean Doolin,
that's what Brom would have done.
Yeah. Dean
Azur will kind of
a little bit before she just kind of gives in to just being dragged.
Well, Azur will interrupt Lazzy and just pick up Dean Doolin and throw her over her shoulder.
Alright, at that, yeah, Lazzy just grabs his spear and is going to walk in, look at the portal hesitantly, and then jump through it.
Yeah, Nyoka's gonna jump through.
I don't think Wilbert's ever been through a transportation circle, but he doesn't really care right now. He's gonna step through.
Sparkling magic! To the next boat!
Azur will follow with Dean.
Brom, make sure everybody goes first. He'll be the last one through.
Okay. Does Lex go through?
Last Lex.
Yeah. Huh? I'm going to assume Annie's character goes through. And if not, I'll get some big message
Earth
later.
kidnapped her again.
Yeah.
Annie fell asleep.
All right. So everybody is going to be teleported, heading to the way station that is or that is customary to teleport people to. you guys are in the cold fortress that is the way gate into Galena Maeve. Stepping through the halls.
Greet them all by name.
Yeah, stepping through the halls of this place. I remember you guys telling me you wanted to remember their names, and I was like,
yeah, Azura remember their names and descriptions very well.
Yeah. And I don't remember where I put note of that at, so I'll find it later.
I wrote it in my contacts, basically.
Oh, cool beans then.
Yeah.
Yeah, in stepping through this place, the party is going to... Oh, Moel, that was her name. Anyways, the party is going to walk through the arcane gate and appear inside of the... I forget which portion of the tower I put this place in. But you're going to be in the receiving, I guess the incoming area of the Maeve. The party is back in Galena Maeve, on the island of Coven.
Brandon, did we go directly to the Maeve, or did we go to the...
There was a way station.
Yeah, you went to the way station and then to
okay.
the Maeve. Because I am, if not anything, I am consistent.
Okay, good.
Consistencies.
And that Moel, was she in the wave station, or was she
No,
at the Maeve?
That lady's name that teleported you was Moel, not Noel. I was like looking for my notes of who was at the way station, and I came across her name instead. that was like a tiny note for myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the people in this way station,
Will we know who their names are?
Yes.
Azura figured it out earlier.
Yeah, if you have those notes, Steve, you can just copy and paste them. I don't remember exactly where I put them, but
I don't know if you gave me the names exactly. I just told you I wanted to be able to recognize them.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
Well, if I know the name, Nyoka's going to wave and say hello to them.
Okay.
Well, if he doesn't know the name, if he knows... Oh, Annie's back.
Hey, what's your name?
Oh, wait, I've been gone? I've been listening to everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we weren't...
We didn't hear you responding, so...
We almost
Sorry.
left.
All good.
You're with us, don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I assume your character does what the party's generally wanting to do, and doesn't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, that's basically what that's basically what's happening, so...
Cool.
So, Brandon, like I was saying,
I got kidnapped by pirates again.
Was that?
What was that? No, so.
Well, I was just saying, if the whole reason the pirates came to our campfire was to kidnap me, that would be funny.
Oh.
Nah.
If the whole reason they came was what? You cut out for me.
To kill Annie, I think is what he said.
Oh!
Kidnap her, just take her away again.
Was any of that in character, or was that just out of character?
No character, like around.
Yeah, you were cutting out a bit.
I got the gist. It was out of character.
Okay.
Brandon, if I recognize the people in the way station, I'm just gonna wave hello.
Okay.
And leave a small carving. Just to say thank you.
All right, and yeah, these people guard the way station, stop, people from swarming Coven.
Like, I don't give it to anybody. I just put it on the ground for them as a present.
Okay. The party is able to teleport to Coven. I am keeping up more rigorously with my notes of Coven. I misplaced some things, so forgive me if things are in different places when you guys come back. But for the future, I've got a new note sheet that I just started. I remember most of the stuff that is here, just not what wards and things that I placed them in. This is one of those few times that I'm thankful the campaigns don't have a huge following, because you guys will ask me oh, can I go do this? And it's yeah, you walk to the eastern side of the Citadel, and it's just, and there are hundreds of people following. It's no, it's on the western side of the Citadel, Brandon. I'm okay.
Oh, it is a magical place.
Oh,
Good
there
shift.
we go. There we go. Steve, you have just invented something that they do for Coven. They magically shift the rooms every at the end of every week.
Nice.
As
It's
should.
Hogwarts Castle.
They should.
I'm gonna teleport into this. Oh my gosh! All right. Here we go. The rooms of Coven are actually miniature demi-planes held open by the rank above advisor for each place. There we go.
That's kind of cool.
All
So
right.
they're infinitely big, but infinitely small as well.
Yeah, let's go with that, because demi-plane's a spell. It's like a 7th level wizard spell, and I believe it lasts for 24 hours. Sorcerers casting extend magic or extend spell can make it last a few days, so I don't believe that is far-fetched at all.
When
All right,
everyone,
Kayeth, where are we going?
When we land in the Mave, Kayeth will walk over to Dean Doolin, and he'll speak into her mind with I promise you that I will do everything in my power to see that you survive this encounter, and I would like to, if you cooperate, I'm sure you will come to no harm. We're now going to go meet our superior. Please be cooperative. And without waiting for a response, he will, let's go see our advisor.
All right. Yeah, as you head off from the incoming room, or the receiving room, Dean Doolin's going to speak through her gag, just saying, as you guys shuffle her down the hallway.
Ezra kind of ignores her as he carries her.
Yeah, finding Anarelus is not difficult, because he would be alerted once you guys teleport in, at least ascending from the way station or something, that hey, these people are passing through. And running through the hallways, the party is going to see Anarelus, and we are going to go there. Anarelus is going to beam at the party, just so happy that you guys got Dean Doolin, and he is going to say, "Oh, we may avert this crisis yet. We may avert this crisis yet. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. Take her to my office, and we can fully debrief." Dean, who can't
Certainly,
see
sir.
Anarelus because she's on the backside of Azure's shoulder, or looking away, is not going to respond much to this. Anarelus is going to look at Lazzy and say, "Oh, you also brought a knoll. You didn't have to involve yourself in the Giants matters."
We thought the information might be useful for your other missions, or your other concerns.
Anarelus, it's hard to stop how wide he's beaming, and he's gonna say, if you can help me avert the situation in Kraylor's Fist and the giants of Jan Baharin, you might take my place as advisor. I might be promoted to an Anthelane. I wonder if any Anthelane's considering retiring. Well, that's neither here nor there. Come. And
there's a small comment of we could hope, and that is quickly quashed out by a swift elbow to the ribs. Nyoka kind of looking hurt at Kyrith.
I'm sure we'll all find our rightful place in the hierarchy eventually.
It is true. The party is led into Anarelis's office, at which point he'll pull a chair down for Dean. And I'm assuming with the assistance of the party, begin tying her to it.
Kaif will start pulling out his reports. This is the preliminary interrogation notes for Dean Dorlan. I have also acquired some of the opals that have been enchanted. This is the initial analysis and evaluation. Here is some sketches and possible speculation on the role of skyships in the Kraylor's Fist escapade. Here is a summary of the Gendenthal threat. And I also have an update on the fire giant situation and a commendation for Lex Vesuvius and another commendation for Bram Ondelum. And he'll just put the papers down in front of Raelis. I would also like to state that Dean Doolan has been most cooperative, and I believe could be a potential future ally to us in the future. She has very useful information, and I would like to see her released in good condition after she has assisted us with our inquiries.
She's also a heartless slaver.
That is true. Anarelis is going to nod, accepting all of these one by one, and he'll point towards the Knoll and the pirate, and he'll say, and the Knoll and the pirate, will we need to have their memories wiped before we release them back into Coven?
I'm already working on that sheet.
Oh, Lazzy here, the Knoll, he will not know anything. He is not knowing our language.
And the pirate is currently going through the recruitment process under Azure's initiative, and he has not yet solved the puzzle, but he might.
I got a name, you know.
Anarelis is going to put a hand over his forehead and say, yes, manners, of course. I am Advisor Anarelis, and you are?
Chief Petty Officer Wilbert Williams. Wilbert Williams.
He is going to nod.
Wilbert Wycombe Williams. That's what he needs to say.
Wonderful. And of course I am Advisor Anarelis. He looks towards Lazzy and says, and you are? Lazzy tilts his head.
I'll kind of stand next to Lazzy and sort of bow a little bit to show him what to do, you know. Want to do another performance check to help him be polite
and roll me a performance check with disadvantage.
Cool.
While he's doing that, Nyoka is going to tell Aurelius that Lazzy is not to be harmed.
And Aurelius is going to say, of course not. The language barrier, yes.
Nor sent back.
And Aurelius is going to say, and he's going to, whoa, wait, Aurelius is a spellcaster. He doesn't have to do the dumb. He's going to cast on himself a spell. You are going to see him take a moment before Anarelis begins speaking in a language that nobody really understands. At which point Lazzie's eyes are going to go a little wide. Lazzie begins yipping. Amaryllis then begins yipping. After a few moments, Lazzie is going to go to the back of the room and lean against the door. Amaryllis is going to say, there. Which will be that for now. Okay. And he's going to look towards Dean. Let's get her out of that gag, if one of you will.
Yeah, Zer gets a gag off her.
As you take the gag off, Dean is going to exhale and say, "You should have traveled with me long enough to know I don't bite."
Brom says I do.
Anybody got an ointment for her mouth? I'm sure it's raw by now.
Dean Doolin is going to shake her head, letting her, kind of shifting her hair out of her face, and say, I do say I expected to be dead by now myself, but another few moments of life, I'll savor it. She's going to look over to Wilbert and say, "You, pirate, you smell." Some things I don't want to take to the grave with me.
Brom pushes the pirate as close to her as he can.
Bram, Kaif will go and cast Prestidigitation on the pirate to try and make him smell less.
Nyoka just looks at her and says, "He smelled like pirate."
It's customary. Amaryllis is going to say, "What were you doing with the shield hand?" Dean is going to exhale and say, "Do you even read the things your subordinates give to you?" Amaryllis is going to say, "Well, of course I do. You're just here now, and I thought that it would be more fine." He's going to start flipping through Kayeth's ledgers.
She didn't say anything about the shield hand yet. She just said, "Oh, she has her thing and I have mine," and blah blah blah. Basically avoided revealing much.
Yeah, from what... And again, just because it was like 2 sessions ago to refresh the party, Dean did tell you she met with the shield hand. That they have met personally, and the shield hand has big plans, and Dean is trying to fill the labor quota for the shield hand's plans. And I'm assuming Kayeth put all of that in the reports.
Yep.
Okay. As Amaryllis is reading this, he's gonna go. He's like reading it and mumbling to himself. Oh,
I'm back.
I didn't know you stepped away, Wesley. They ungagged Dean Doolin after being thankful for another couple minutes of life, expecting to be dead. She said she wasn't taking some things to the grave with her, and the first thing she said was that Wilbert smells. And at which point, Kayeth began prestidigitating his smell away.
I don't. You're ugly.
Yeah, if you say that while Amaryllis is like reading this paper, she'll say, "Forgive me if I haven't had my beauty rest. I was ambushed on the road and dragged to Beechwood Retreat and teleported across the inner
Azur puts a gag back in.
Yeah.
She's so dramatic.
Prettier things off the side of a scooter than you. Rude.
Someone else can remove it if they want to. I'm done.
At which point, Amaryllis is going to look up from the ledgers and say, "So, Dean, met with the shield hand inside of Kraylor's fist. And the meeting involved zealots from Red Axe.
Yeah, lots of zealots going on lately. Many people going missing. Agents getting killed.
Did you receive the sending from Lucilith about the possible cultist we had coming here?
And that is a DM fluke, because I do remember you sent that. And I'm just rolling a percentage die for Lucilith. Lucilith is gonna get around to it. He's gonna get around to it. It's important, but other things are important to him too. Anorelus is going to like shake his head a little bit, just like the tiny bit, and like blink of like what? And could you expand on that?
Kyath will revert to telepathy and say, I recruited a cultist of Gendenthal under false pretenses. She was making her way to the Silver Sigil. She was to ask for you when she came here. Her name is Kun. She is a trader, and we believe she is highly enmeshed in the Gendenthal plot. I used the sending stone to reach Lucilith and ask him to send you an urgent sending to capture her and interrogate her as soon as she arrived. I take it that hasn't happened?
Anorelus is going to say, oh, we're dealing with the Circle of Gendenthal. Well, that's just splendid. That's just splendid. Last time one of these popped up, it fell a whole country. And he's going to shake his head and say, no, it has not. But I will get to that first thing immediately. If you'd excuse me. And Anorelus is going to walk out of the room. Dean is going to look back and say,
what?
Azur will look at her seriously and say, are you ready to repent yet? And he'll smile.
You know what? Dean will roll a morality die, and she will nod, shaking her head, yes.
He'll remove her gag.
And she's going to look over to Wilbert and say, I'm sorry I called your drunk, sloppy pirate friend smelly. It's not true. It's just, I'm sure you can see I'm frustrated.
You do not understand how to apologize, do you? You're insulting as you apologize. Wow. You have a long way to go, woman.
Kyath will speak telepathically to Dean Doolan.
That in a situation like this, I might lose control of my tongue, and that's his fault, not mine.
It's not my fault. You got 4 teeth.
Telepathically to Dean, just saying, it's all about the slavery. Just tell them you won't do slavery again, and you'll have a much easier ride. That's the repentance that he's seeking.
Dean is going to roll a head back and say, that's, and she'll look at Kyath and say, that's it? Slaves? I don't care about the slaves. I just cared about the gold I was getting paid. Yes, I'm sorry about the slaves. I won't do it again. God, this is torture.
Brahm says, you know nothing of torture.
You've taken the first step. Now make your actions meet your words.
Dean is, who picked up Dean's bag?
Azur's got it.
Yeah, Dean is, going to say, oh, you've got my bag. I purchased 4 bounties from the Steel Cabal inside of inside of Lockleal. The bonds are in there. They're yours. Burn them if you want. Free them from their bonds. That gets me closer on my path to righteousness. She shrugs and says, so be it. That gets me out of this bridge hole. Huh, I'd like that even a little bit better.
What's the more official way to deal with these papers and receive the freedom of these people?
She's gonna think and say, oh, whoever receives them, it would be their job to report to the Ruby Alliance that proper work has been done on behalf of the individual to pay back the sum of the debt bond, and if not work done, then gold provided. In any case, once turned into the Ruby Sigil, a portion of the debt a tax on the debt is paid, and they are freed.
So since you've already purchased these, the tax simply needs to be paid and they'll be free?
She is going to nod.
Azur will take these papers into his own possession, put them in his pack.
And she is going to say, there, I did a good thing. Can you untie me?
Are you going to behave? Or scratch out like a wild cat?
Dean is going to look around and say, I don't even know where I am. And I'm assuming with such a powerful Arcanist who got us here, an even more powerful Arcanist guarding wherever that was that we came from, that even if I killed a lot of you, there's probably at least 24 other people in this complex that can kill me if I run. So I think I'll be on my best behavior.
There's far more than 24.
When she says killed a lot of you, Brahm just heartily laughs.
Azur looks around at the rest if any of them have a protest to this.
I am willing to stand for her good behavior as a fellow merchant of the Ruby, and I will escort her as needed.
Azur will say to her before untying her, keep true to your word, or you will know of the torture that Brahm speaks before your repentance is over. Be good.
She's going to smile and say, is this ardor? I feel like I'm swearing some damn oath.
Oh, that may yet come.
Nyoka corrects her and said, this no ardor, this is the Maeve.
This is what?
The Maeve.
Oh, the Maeve. She's gonna say, the museum? With all the historians?
Yes, the museum. Azur will take his rope back and put it away.
Hey Brandon, where were we from? Where did they pick up Wilbert from again?
If you close the things I have shown to you and go to the back map, I can scribble it in the world. So Beechwood Retreat is about right here. And you guys teleported from there to the island of Coven, and you are right there now. Do you see that on that lower map, or do you want me to drag us over to the bigger map?
Well, I was just sort of wanting the whole region, like in general.
Yeah. This campaign is taking place, and I'll drag us over to the big map, just to show you where we're at. This campaign is taking place in a region of the world known as the Eastern Sea. And it is, well, actually, that's not accurate. It is this right here. All of these all of these waters make up the Eastern Sea, minus the deep waters of the Inner Sea.
Okay.
And the region you guys are that Wilbert was picked up from is, I will do it in black, right there was where he's picked up from.
Beach with the tree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he'll kind of. Y'all don't do much business in Beechwood Retreat, do you?
We've been through there.
Well, you do business there. The only thing really matters is coin. Nobody gives two rat tails about gold.
Well, things are changing around here. I'll see to it.
It's been that way a lot longer than you and me, friend.
It's taking a lot of restraint, Steve, for me not to use my masters of or my powers as dungeon master to like convince you to say there's a new sheriff in town. Because the first thing that came to my mind was like, I'll give you inspiration.
Well, what's the actual like word that we use? Like, sheriff's not a thing here, right? I mean,
I mean, I feel like deputy would be something, or constable of town guard. Privateers are huge in this region. Security officers.
There's a new privateer of justice and peace in the region.
There we go.
Dude. Why?
Because lives matter, and violence is the last resort.
Violence is way of life, man.
Naoka looks at Asher and go, "Why did you hire a policeman? Policeman no good."
Dane's going to speak up and say, I know at least a half other dozen merchants that have no care and no respect for the lives available to them. If I give you their names, perhaps you can dish some justice out to them?
Well, I mean...
Naoka chuckles and go, "You sound like the blue lady. I bet they less no good and more like her rivals."
Very, very smart, Naoka.
Dean is going to say, no, I've turned over a new leaf. This is only 40% motivated by competition and 60% for my newfound sense of morality.
More like the rock tarantula. It looks like sand on top, but it is a mean biter underneath.
Hey, Brennan, how many times in my pirating career have I heard people say stuff like what Dean is saying?
What, killing her rivals?
No, new sense of morality and all that.
Go ahead, roll me a history check. I'll roll you a percentage die.
History. Okay, well, that's not a 0. Well, it's actually not bad. Okay.
Can I give him the help action with my tarantula story?
I'll take a 19.
Yeah, I mean, I'll allow the help action. At which
roll
point,
it at an advantage.
Wilbert is going to just be like putting this together and trying to think, and it's like, it's actually extremely rare somebody in the clutch repents. People in the clutch, at most, you've seen this happen in times of convenience, when you know, it's like, do this or die, and it's like, well, I definitely don't like dying. All right, let's see how this
That's kind of what she's doing.
Look, man. The only thing she's turning is stomachs. If she's a slaver through and through. As long as there's coin, she's gonna do it. It don't matter. Oaths mean nothing. Morality is, worth about as much as a coin in your purse.
Dean is going to look at you and say, "That's despicable."
You ain't calling me a liar.
So are you?
I'm gonna try insight to see how Dean's doing on this.
Go ahead, roll me an insight check on it.
You
You don't have disadvantage on this check, by the way, so I'm going to take
Oh.
15.
Okay.
Wilbert's gonna say, you ain't calling me a liar, though.
Cool.
Azure, looking at her demeanor and stance, there are definitely tones of what Wilbert has implied that are not sitting right with Dean. You can see that her offense at the statement is likely genuine. At which point, Dean will go on and say that...
Hold on, Brandon.
Go ahead.
Before anything, Nyoka looks at Asher and go, you know, she can't be a slaver if she has to stay here. I'm sure the Maven can put a use to someone as skillful as her.
Well, that's for our superiors to decide, and maybe we can leave the topics of morality for the temple, and we can just focus on our job at hand.
There you go. See, he gets...
I need no temple.
You guys, as you say that, Dean's mouth moves faster than her brain, just in general, and she's like gonna say, "I will not be forced into service." Oh, that's your
Oh, yes,
issue
you
with
will.
it. As things kind of start clicking for her, just like, forced to work here. Ew. No. Oh, as she like kind of pauses, and it
Who could have
starts
thunk
like,
it?
yeah.
Yes,
clicking in
yes.
her
Now
brain a
you
little
begin to
bit.
understand what you've been doing with people's lives.
She's gonna nod and say, "Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't force them into any of the roles or jobs they do. Those are the people who buy them."
Oh no, you
middlewoman of
are
sorts.
enabling all of them to be stuck in the position that they were maybe been born to, maybe been forced into. But now you begin to understand that you may end up as a slave just like them if you do not turn a new way very soon. For my influence may not be available within the next few hours.
Brom just walks up to her, whispers in her ear, "You're the kind of scum that kidnapped me as a child and sold me. And you're the reason that my family misses me." And he just kind of taps her on the back of the head.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
At that point,
This is great.
Dean's
This
gonna
sounds
swallow.
like a telenovela.
Yeah, Dean's gonna swallow a little bit and say, "Look, I don't seek to tear lives apart. I try to take opportunity of those who've already torn their lives apart, but he can understand how I might have played a part in some atrocities that may have been committed in some of your experiences in life." And she's going to say, "For that, I'm sorry. But understand that if it wasn't me inflicting atrocities for coin, I would have the atrocities inflicted upon me for lacking coin. It's just the way of the world over here."
Yeah.
Choices. You have choices, and you could have left the city, you could have done any number of things, but instead you took advantage of others and pursued your own riches.
She's
Hey,
gonna put her hands up. At
Karma's a bitch.
She's gonna put her hands up at this and say, "Hey, enough with the accusations. I've turned over my new leaf. I'm a good person."
It ain't that simple, friends. It ain't. Y'all don't understand. It's not that simple.
I'll do insight again on her. Oh, I need to set that to normal, don't I?
Yeah, that's fine on that 3. I mean, you're really not even sure. You're not even sure if Dean understands what the word morality means.
I look back and forth between
I said
her
I'm not
and.
gonna do bad things. Isn't that enough?
I look back and forth between her and Will. So what do you think, Will? Should we tie her back up?
Her.
What's that going to do?
Say again, Lex.
Will is gonna be a good influence on her. Neither of them completely understand, but it's fine.
Nyoka board, tie her up so we can go shop.
I'm sorry, what did Annie say? I missed it.
She said that you will be a good influence on her. That there'll be
I don't want nothing to do with her. She ain't my problem.
That makes 2 of us.
I'm happy to take responsibility for her good behavior while she's here. Has Anorellis left the room?
Yeah, Anorellis left. When you told him there was a cultist coming from a Gendon circle, he was like, I need to take care of that. And I'll see you later.
Azura will look up at what's your character's name, JV? I lost it.
Kayeth.
Kayeth, thank you. He'll look up at Kayeth at that comment and say, yeah, I'm sure she'd be a great instructor for your slaver ambitions.
I have no slaver ambitions. We discussed this as a group, and I made the commitment that I would not support or deal in slavery while we were together. And I stand by that. While I disagree with many of your objections to slavery, I value the unity of this party more than my personal beliefs. And I would hope that you're willing to do the same as well.
I'm doing my best to keep her alive and well in my own way.
Wolvert's gonna just make one of those faces and take another drink from his flask.
How's your chest going, Will?
This is where I left it. In my left pocket. That was my right pocket.
As you guys are talking, Lassie's going to walk to Anorellis' desk. It grabs a piece of charcoal off of it and begins scribbling something.
On what?
There is a stack of parchment on the desk, but actually on the stone top of the desk itself.
Okay. Azura will look over curiously at the scribbles. Art?
Lassie, if you do, Lassie is going to yip several times, going gesturing to the drawing, then to itself, and it begins yapping incoherently, but all of its yips are incoherent, ? As it doesn't seem like any sort of structure, as it points around the whole room. Then it points to the drawing and pounds its chest with a fist.
Did it draw like a family or something?
It looks like a group of like wolves or gnolls running at something. Lassie has done an excellent job of communicating its idea. Just like looking at this and trying to put it all together, Lassie is saying you all talk too much and gnolls spend time doing things. As Lassie kind of like gestures towards like the drawing of gnolls and then hits its chest again. Then gestures to all of you and goes.
Azura will grin at him.
What's wrong with this thing?
Brandon, I didn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
He basically drew a representation of a pack taking action instead of talking. So it's like we talk too much and we should take action.
I know, Steve. I was just seeing if he would talk like yep.
He just wants the yipping more.
Lassie, he just wants more yipping.
Of what it assumes speaking looks and sounds like to its ears.
Gotcha.
At least we can talk.
Yeah, he has trouble with not being able to communicate with us right now.
What was that,
So
Brandon?
I'm guessing.
I said Lassie can't understand your insult. He's not hurt.
That's fine.
So everyone, I'm guessing that Anorellis hasn't given instructions to the quartermaster for our pay just yet, due to his other matters. Perhaps we can disband, have the evening off, and reconvene in the morning?
Sure.
So you're going to sleep with Dean by your bed all by yourself? Or you need some help with that?
That's weird. Don't say it like that.
Dean
I was going to find an in-room for her.
Dean's gonna look over at Kayeth and say, if I get out of here alive, still holding my breath on that one, don't too much believe it, but I'm spoken for.
Kayeth just shakes his head. I was going to get Dean an in-room and grab myself a meal and have us rest because it's been a long day.
I might recommend that you take a small contingent of magical guards with you to keep an eye on her. I don't think that he's done with questioning.
It's worth noting, other than the healing that Lex gave Dean, she hasn't had time to really long rests or anything. Dean looks like from Wilbur's description, really just beat to shit, not at all any sorts of appealing at this. You surmise that probably Kayeth can take her in a fight at this point.
Hey, I could take her any. Never mind.
I think she has 9 HP from the healing word, or the cure wounds.
Well, if it makes you happier, I will find the most comfortable prison cell I can in the Mave and see her there.
So, Brandon, what you're saying is she has more hit points than Gyra.
Sadly. Yeah, and she'll cheer and say, "Woo! From bondage to dungeons. This is fantastic. This is great."
You can hang.
Sir nods. That sounds wiser.
You can hang out with me. Brom smiles.
She's going to shake her head and say, "Oh no, I much prefer the dungeon. Besides,
that's what I thought."
If you,
she's so mean. I love her so much.
If you begin leading her through this complex, who's taking her to the dungeon?
Kayeth will, and he's going to try and find the most well-equipped and comfortable one. So it's not a dungeon, but just a room that can be locked.
Dean is going to ask Kayeth and say, "So, tell me, the halls of the Mave. I've never been into the inner sanctum, although I've seen some of the relics they keep in the outer sanctum. How did a bunch of scholars and historians come to employ such powerful arcanists like the ones we saw before?"
It's questions like that which will make it challenging for you to leave here. I suggest you don't ask any questions and just forget about that. If I was in your position, I would just create as few waves as I can and take the opportunities that come your way.
Azur will go ahead and go to the healer of the Mave and ask them to send some people down to fix her up in the cell.
Yeah, there'd be some people that would tend to others here. Nobody specializing in that type of magic really within their ranks. You're able to find a couple agents that or you're able to find an agent that has some background in divine magic and faith, and they'll agree and go down to help out Dean.
Thank you. She's been in pain for a while.
Brahm asks anybody in the group if he can borrow 1 gold coin.
Certainly. Azur will offer the gold coin.
Fantastic. He then goes to find any of the supply depots, and he's looking for a bag of 1,000 marbles or ball bearings.
Okay. That is a piece of gear out of the player's handbook, so I'm just going to say you're able to buy it for its base price. And heading down to the quartermaster, you would be able to buy it for a single gold coin. You are given a bag of ball bearings.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
I now go to Dean's cell and I throw one at her every 5 seconds. I'm kidding.
30.
Alright. Go ahead.
Kayath will just basically order out and try and get a servant or someone to go to a good restaurant in town and get Dean a fine meal.
Okay. Yeah, if somebody is able to do that.
Nyoka is going to do some weird stuff, but finish up with what you're doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say, one of the attendants is going to laugh a little and say, we'll have the cooks on hand whip her up something, and going to go and make sure Dean is attended to. As they lock Dean in the cell down here, she has any parting words. She's going to call to Kayath and say, Kayath!
Yes.
He'll say, your advisor and your report mentioned a circle of Gendenthal forming.
That is correct.
She's going to say, you know, myself and the Shield Hand, we have nothing to do with those crazed cultists. Don't tie their sins to us.
That is the main reason why I'm in your corner at the moment. I believe that both of you could be a powerful ally in fighting a greater enemy, and I may have other opportunities for you as well. It sounds to me that you've been scrapping around in the dirt, chasing debt bonds for too long, and that you could be destined for much greater things. But that's a conversation for another time. The first priority is to get you out of here alive, and then hopefully we will be able to do business together in the future.
She's going to whisper and say, come closer.
Kayath will come closer with some trepidation.
She's going to whisper into Kayath's ear and say, after Kaitelis falls, the next location I was going to be assisting the Shield Hand with staffing is Lothrone. I don't know why or what's out there, but in any case, I want you to know that I've done everything on my side of my side of the deal to get out of whatever this place is with my life. If you choose to take it,
Understood.
From there, she speaks up again and says, "Oh, maybe that paladin of yours just isn't so righteous, is he?"
Out of curiosity, how much gold did you make on each run to Kaitelis?
She is gonna say I was going to be buying a new estate inside of Beechwood Retreat. I didn't make gold per run, but I made 8,000 gold delivered up front from the Shield Hand's personal treasury, waiting for me back in Beechwood Retreat. And once these sets of jobs are over, I'll receive another 8,000.
Good money. Kai's aspirations of potentially employing her in the future just take a little bit of a plummet, going, oh, she's outside of his pay grade. And then I thank you for your cooperation, and here is this, and he'll give her back her ruby pendant. Know that I'll do everything in my power to see you come well out of the situation.
I'm kidding. All right. With that, Dean's going to go back and sit down in her cell.
Did you say something, No Soul?
He typed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. He sent me a message. I was just reading it now. I'd like to have an array list send word to members of the Sigil and Beechwood Retreat that they learned what they learned of Red Axe. Okay. Yeah, and he said he'll message me if need be. Okay, cool. All right. So, what's the rest of the party want to do? Do you guys just want to sleep through the night?
So Nyoka is actually going to try and locate not Aurelius, but like a contemporary of Aurelius.
Okay, a different advisor?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. Specifically, what
and if that
would you be looking for?
If that doesn't work, he's going to go to the lady that transported us.
Okay.
And ask for somebody. So he's going to try an investigation on his own, and if that doesn't work, he'll do that as the second.
Oh my gosh! I just remembered why I couldn't find my Coven paper, because I named it Galena Maeve and not Coven. I was just going through my notes and I was like, I know I have something, and I found it. So it's the Academy of Insight, the Academy of Divination, and the Academy of Innovation. Okay, so in addition to that, you are looking for a different advisor. And let's roll you a percentage die on that. And what type of advisor were you looking for? Was there a specific focus Naoko was interested in?
So what focus? Like, what are my options? I'm sorry. Like,
so some advisors, like Anna Raylis, their job is specifically to a region. And addressing problems that are in the region and sending out agents to handle those problems in the region. Some advisors would be like Zav, who are very like hands-on, as Zav is more of like politically tied to people rather than regional problems. There'd be some advisors that would be in charge of personnel and managing different people around like the Maeve. That would be like the people who tell the teleporters who to send where, or the people who, you know, tell the senders or scryers who to scry on and where to scribe on. In the sigil itself isn't wholly collected as far as everybody knows what everyone else does, but generally if you're looking for something, you can get pointed enough in the right direction to find someone.
So
with
I'm
that,
looking for a logistics person more so than an area, possibly somebody who knows people. That might be better.
Okay, yeah, and I'm saying that to say that Nyoka is able to find another advisor, but because you did so well on that check, you're able to find an advisor closer to what you're looking for rather than just some random one that I rolled up. And I, as a dungeon master, wanted to know what you were looking for.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I was looking for. Nyoka is concerned about Beechwood Retreat and the problems that now I can't remember her name. Zoe? Is it Zoe?
Zav.
Zav, that's part of Beechwood.
Okay.
He is concerned about her and her well-being, He already knows that her underlings have been under attack. They've lost people. They were attacked by one was attacked by a assassin that ended up dropping Braum and had to be recovered. So he's concerned about her. So he doesn't trust Aurelius enough to actually do something. So he's trying to find Zob help.
Okay. Eventually, asking about and talking to different people, you're pointed in the direction of a woman named Simmer. She is a Shattered. She's in that tiefling form of red skin, tail, and everything all out. You were told that she is an advisor, and she travels in different regions and has contacts, although you're not certain of what regions exactly she is in charge of.
What's her name again? I'm sorry?
Simmer.
Simmer.
And let's me just roll a d4 for where you meet her.
And what is she in charge of? I'm sorry?
She is a advisor who travels a lot and has lots of contacts. The specific region she's in charge of, you're not aware, as people often don't disclose that information.
That's fine.
That said, you are going to meet her in the Academy of Innovation, leaving the quartermaster. Or, actually, you didn't go to the quartermaster's, Rom did. But it would be close to the quartermaster's area. Tracking her down, she's going to be in a hall, talking to what appears to be a halfling. When you walk up to her, they'll both pause their conversation. The halfling will say, "Well, Simmer, until next time." She'll nod before turning to look at Nyoka and say, "Hail."
Hello, Red Lady.
She is going to smile and say, "Well, there's at least a half dozen other features about me you could point out first. But yes."
Yeah, but it's not polite to call you Big Butt.
True. And she's going to turn, looking at her tail, and say, "Just a few years ago, it seemed that those with my curse of blood could shift in and out of our appearance a little bit more freely without being stuck like this. But unfortunately, now it seems eternal. What brings you searching me out?"
Nyoka concerned for Lady Zob in Breachwood Retreat. Nyoka was on a mission, happened to be in Beechwood, and we come across a lot of things that are concerning her, and Nyoka wanted to help, and he doesn't think his advisor, with all this stuff going on, will be up to the task to help her. So Nyoka thought he would ask others here to see if we could help the nice Lady Zob that helped Nyoka.
And what's in it for Nyoka?
Oh, Nyoka already got stuff from Zob, so he kind of feel obligated to help pay her back.
She's going to nod and say, "Beechwood is pleasant enough of a city. I can make my way there. Although without an order from our judicator or the Silver Senate, I do fear that I would be more so intruding. Your pleas would be better served with them."
I'm sorry, I missed that. With who?
The Judicator or the Silver Senate?
Okay. Do I need to talk to them? The reason me want to talk to them because Lady Zav has a lot of problems going her way that she may not be aware of. Nyoka notices these things, but that's because Nyoka run in circles of powerful people on there. Nyoka used to know the murder bride.
She's going to nod, taking this in, and say, when you say no, do you mean before she killed Prince Kaiden?
Yeah, Nyoka used to follow the blue lady.
She's gonna say, well, I see you got out with your life at a good time.
Nyoka is not dumb to marry her.
And she's gonna nod at this and say, I hear she's sitting real nice inside of Dagger Gully. Had a push to take back Lothrone from the from the Warforge, but it didn't go so well for her.
Jokes on her husband. She don't like men. Don't know why she married him. Probably just to kill him.
She's going to nod and say, well, at least that part of the crown has been pacified, and at least until they're better organized. That, with the Emperor of the North, Quartus Nox, raging war, will be a time before Galkin has to see any more trouble from the Cayenne remnants. She's going to say, come, I can take your pleas to somebody with a little bit more pull than you.
Okay. I'm going to follow her wherever she goes.
All right. She takes you into the... she's going to take you out of the Academy of... or actually, no, she'll take you to the top of the Academy of Innovation. And into one of the Silver Senator's chambers. And let's roll if he is even here right now. And he is. All right. So she is going to take you to...
oh, that guy.
Yeah. Senator Kaiden Glaspin. You were aware earlier, or rather you're aware of him. He was the senator that wanted the Silver Sigil to be more active covertly in the world and subjugating threats and problems. And she is, after a moment, going to knock on his door before you both step into his room.
Nyoka was going to vote for him.
As you step in, he's going to say, Simmer, you've come to bother me with another request. Where do you want me to deploy you to now? She's going to say, this time it's not for my own personal travels. She'll gesture to Nyoka.
Hello.
She'll say, he is an agent that's been working inside of Beechwood Retreat. It says the situation might get out of hand there.
Get close. Lady Zob is doing all she can. I don't think she knows it's going to get worse. But Nyoka has seen this before. Nyoka knows. It's one camel breaking a door away from everything going crazy.
He's going to rub at his mustache a little bit and say, you know, she's got a round of elections coming up in town for magistrates. The prominent merchants will be voting on them. Told her to secure funding and hire assassins against the competition.
Well,
she dragged her feet on doing that, and half of those assassins have disappeared. Probably going into cover, getting ready for other people that have already hired them.
Some have made moves on her cohorts already. She almost lost one of her men when we were there.
He's going to say, well, you don't need to fret about it. Zav isn't the only advisor we have working inside of Beechwood Retreat. That said, if you feel her operations could potentially become compromised,
I feel all of Beechwood Retreat could be compromised. Do you know that most of the women operatives in Beechwood Retreat are going missing?
Does he know? Let's roll him a history check. He's going to nod and say, I am aware that we have been losing agents. It's not unheard of that on the eve of catastrophe, those who know about us try and thin our ranks. But now that you mention it, I hadn't been paying attention to the genders of those who were killed. There is an unsettling pattern there. Simmer is going to speak up and say, Sir, I've followed loosely the situation of Beechwood Retreat myself. There's no evidence to say that any of those women were killed. He's going to nod. And
killed or gone, doesn't matter. They're not doing the sigil work. They might as well be killed.
He's going to nod and say, the protocols that would call for our agents to go dark are very rare and few in between. Situations you wouldn't be able to send off magic to report in. He's gonna huff, sitting down at his desk, and say, I'm inclined to agree with, what's your name?
Nyoka.
Nyoka. I'm inclined to agree with Nyoka on this one. Simmer is going to say, what would you have us do? He's going to think for a moment, pour himself a drink and lean back in his chair. He's going to say, there are a lot of powerful people inside of Beechwood Retreat. Sarai and Dorai with influence that spans centuries. Gold acquired from generations upon generations. Knowledge, mercenaries, and factions acquired from wars lost in history. In either case, nothing is toppling that city without a fight for every inch of it. She's going to say, well, I think in any case we should prepare for the fight to go in our direction. The senator is going to shake his head and say, no. Anyone trying to make that much fuss inside of Beechwood Retreat is looking for trouble. I think there's a ruse, something more, a cloak being pulled over our heads. Charlatan stealing with his left hand while showing us the right. She's going to scratch her head and say, where do you think the hand that's going into our pockets at? He's going to think and say, I don't know. A silver sigil covers the world. There's so many opportunities for small gaps. I'll have to get with the Judicator. Find out where our ranks have been thinned the most, where we haven't been able to get a single agent into. And perhaps we might find the root of all of this. For now, you're to stay out of Beechwood Retreat. She's going to nod and say, yes, sir.
Well, that's not what Nyoka was needing or wanting. Lady Zob needs help. She needs more people, if men.
Nyoka, I'm going to give you, Shelby, for Nyoka, a free intelligence check with disadvantage.
Well, that's typical. I don't know how to do that in Rule 20 with disadvantage, so I'm going to roll it twice.
Oof. 0.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this has
you
gone...
would take the 2 it would be the bad roll.
Yeah, this has gone the opposite of how Nyoka has wanted it to. Why would they not help Zav? At this point, the senator is going to say, until we have more information on this, my decision in this matter is decided. If you want it reviewed, contact the Judicator. Simmer is going to shake her head and say, no, sir, that won't be necessary. And she's going to begin walking out, gesturing for Nyoka to follow. She's going to say, well, I suppose that's why we're the advisors, and he's the senator. And she's going to shrug and say, the whole micro-macro approach. That said, I've met Zob before. I have a soft spot for the woman. I do wish her the best. Sorry I couldn't be of more help.
It's okay. That's why Nyoka actually voted for Ondus. And Nyoka is going to be like, maybe me need to talk to Ondus. Me not like that conversation. Something needs to be done.
Nyoka is putting on the Karen wig and saying, let me speak to the manager. I respect it. And at which point she's going to say, you should schedule a council with the Judicator. I'm sure he has time for you. And at that, she is going to smile, a very sly smile, and begin walking down the hallway. Her footsteps echoing in the corridors.
Nyoka is going to figure she doesn't want any part of that because he knows going above the Blue Lady's head just made Blue Lady mad when he did it before. So he understands that she not wanting to be in his way, but he still feels like that he owes Zob something. So he not... You know what? And you still there?
Yes, I am.
We hear you.
Yeah, my headset's like this. You know what? He's actually going to go back inside.
To the senator's room?
Yeah, to the senator's room.
All right. Sipping a drink and poring over a tome, Senator Eldel Kaiden Claspin is going to look up at you and say, Nyoka.
Nyoka no understands something.
He gestures for you to go on.
Why you no help your people?
He's going to think for a second and say, we command limited resources here at the Sigil. We cover a lot of ground across the world. That said, let's say, as then as we are spread, that one region requires more help. That would mean another region requires less help. If you were a thief, and let's say you wanted to steal from a shop, setting the bakery on fire across the street might prove for a very handy distraction for the nearby guards. Until I'm sure of the situation in its fullest extent, I can't knowingly take aid from one region and give it to another and expose ourselves.
Naoka looks at him and goes, "That's all well and good and smart, except the person who is the lawman that's asleep never actually catches the thief, whether the thief sets fire to the bakery or not." Me no like your answer. You willing to throw people away. Zob help Naoka. Naoka don't feel like you're helping Zob.
Roll me your persuasion check.
Okay. Holy shit.
The
Nice.
senator is going to think on these words for a minute. And say, I'm operating on the assumption of half of whatever I send towards Zav, or half of whoever I send towards Zav is going to be killed. I can help Zav, but at the risk of who?
Send better people.
Let's see, does he have better people to send? He's going to think for a moment and say all of our best are where they need to be. One of the reasons why Zav is in Beechwood Retreat.
Naoka understand. That means that if you don't have better people, recruit more people.
That he's going to nod, and he'll say, "I'll see what I can do as far as sending her additional funding. Perhaps she can hire some mercenaries to better protect some of her agents." As far as sending more agents into the city, he's going to shake his head and say, "I don't think that's wise right now."
That's all Naoka asked. She needed help. If you send her funds, that can help.
He'll nod and say, if the council, or if the Senate doesn't approve it, I'll send it out of my personal funds. He is going to raise the glass and nod and say, Ardorian's oath of honor for it.
Naoka goes, and that's why Naoka was going to vote for you.
He gestures towards the door.
Yeah, Naoka's gonna, at that, take him at his word and leave.
All right. Naoka has secured help for Zav. Potentially.
Or he was telling something to Naoka to get him to go away. Both worked quite well. The last thing Naoka would do is go visit the quartermaster,
Okay.
and ask for more wood.
The quartermaster, and like I showed you before, Shelby, is going to, like as Naoka come to sound, she's going to hold up a finger and say, you are a Lord Keeper. She's going to say, Lord Keeper, I don't know Nyoka's last name.
It's Nyoka.
Lorekeeper Nyoka. And she's gonna say, I had a insight on that item you're requesting. I could have spent a lot of time pouring an effort to develop such a thing, but I did come across a handy little cooking pouch that might serve the needs of what you were looking for much easier.
No, todavía no. Nomás tengo mucho frío.
And she will pull out the Huberd's handy spice pack. So it's almost like you're looking for. You're unable to store your own smells inside of it, but it has such a variety already packed in there. You only get a pinch, but it's there's magic in it that regenerates it daily. Would such a thing interest you?
Well, that's not exactly what I wanted, Brandon. I was hoping to have my own smells put in. Nyoka's going to mention this as
she's going to say, well, I can alter the infusions of the magical properties on this for you, but no guarantee that it will regenerate anything.
He doesn't necessarily need it to regenerate, but if it can, that would be fine.
Alright. She'll gesture for Nyoka to sit and say, if you give me about an hour, I'll do my best.
Okay. You come back when we get paid. We can pick it up then.
Alright. That said, you can come back and see her in an hour or just later. Is anyone else doing anything tonight, or is it cool if I fast forward through the evening?
Zur had a few quick things.
Hit me.
And
he's gonna can list like the things they want to do, and I'll just go through systematically, or you guys can say it like as a party. But go ahead, Steve.
He would have found Kayeth.
Okay.
And asked if he might clean him up a bit. All the blood and stuff all over him.
Yeah, well, I can do my best. It's not as good as a good bath, but it's something. And
I'll follow up with a bath, but mainly my armor and clothing. It just needs little attention. Carrying her all that time was pretty bloody.
Can I ask you a personal question, Azur?
Certainly.
You've been with the Sigil for years, correct?
Oh yes, many.
How come you're still just a lawkeeper? Were there not opportunities to advance further, become an agent or even an advisor?
Well, it seems as though some in the organization block my progress due to my points of view and focus. I'm not sure that everyone's in harmony here with each other. Plus, I've never pursued it of my own merit, for I don't see much use in ranks and things like this. I never sought it out.
I see.
It seems that no one has put me up as a candidate.
It's good to know. Just so you know, I'm grateful for the initiative and leadership you're taking within the party, despite our political differences sometimes, and that it was my intention to propose you for promotion to agent in due course. And I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something that you wished or wanted. But if there are hidden adversaries in the organization who would inhibit your progress, it might be that we should hunt that out. But that's my intention, and I just wanted to make sure that it was okay with you.
No problem. I don't mind. It could at least end up in more gold, contributing to whatever I need it for. To help the world become a better place. So,
yes, I find that the rank and influence can be used to achieve many objectives.
Indeed. Appreciate it. I'm going to go talk to Dean for a moment. Farewell. Good night.
All right, you head to the dungeons to see Dean.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you were able to do so as a official lore keeper. You are allowed to move about the Mave. The dungeons. Let's see. There's one academy, and we'll name it the Academy of Reservation, and that's where I'm going to place the dungeons. The bottom of the Academy of Reservation.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're able to find Dean in this row of cells. They overlook the. Well, I mean, this part of the academy probably would be inside of like the cliff, very close to the cliffside, but none of them would have like vision of any of the cliffs or the seas out around them, as these would be stone corridors dug into the hillside, or the mountainside, or the coastal side. There we go. At which point you're able to find Dean's cell.
Hail, Dean Doolin.
She will say, if it's not my own personal savior. Hail.
Are you feeling better?
I was tended to. I was given a meal. Well, that's far better than most brigands in this region would do.
And your wounds?
She'll turn her hands over and say, I suffered worse. To Azure's eyes, they look healed. She's going to say, I'm almost giving into that sense of hope that says I may actually be released from here.
Perhaps. Much is happening in the world, and this place needs to preserve a certain sense of balance for its own sake.
She's going to nod and say, if you think so, I think balance is a fool's errand. You and your stupid friends should be running as far as you can if you're not trying to take advantage of this opportunity. But that's just my own personal opinion.
You mean the opportunity that you were presented with?
She's going to nod and say, if this continent breaks out into war, nobody here, or everybody here barely even likes each other. It'll be bigger than the kayak wars ever were. And that said, I've lived my whole life in a tough situation. In conflict, there's opportunity. But for those who can't stomach it, there's always seed ale.
Oh. Conflict needs attention. That's for sure. Perhaps it will yet be prevented, in the most part, if I have any say in it. Well, I'm glad you've healed up. Sleep well. Perhaps I'll have a chance to say more. Perhaps not.
Roll in her a morality die, and she's going to speak up and say, so before you go, since I've repented for my for slaving, and I promise not to do it again,
and I've cooperated with your investigation. What's to come of me after tonight?
I'll try an insight on her sincerity here.
Oh. It's hard to get a read on Dean. On one hand, you think she is being sincere. On the other hand, you question, like, the strength of that sincerity, as she's, very focused on self-preservation.
Mm-hmm. And the frame of her background being pretty much without structure to comprehend even what I tend to talk about with her. Okay. Well, I'll speak with my advisor. See what I can do. But I will be watching you if you survive this. I'll know.
Well, then I'll go back to expecting death. Your advisor is almost as dumb as your friends.
Oh, what do you know about him? Or did you notice?
She's going to say just picked up on small things. Not reading the papers that were given to him, questioning me instead. Giving up on line of questioning on information that I think was valuable to him. Rushing off to chase after something he barely even understood, like a chicken with its head cut off. And just question how long he can stay in such a position. Anyways, if my fate's coming down to him, she's going to shrug and say, I won't spend tonight hoping. Besides, the moment I fell in combat on that roadside, I was resolved to my death. Don't get that lucky for a second chance or a second chance here in the clutch.
Not unless you have people like me around. Let's see what I can do. I'll give a small bow, with no mockery. Good night.
She'll just give you a nod in return as you come up from your bow. There's nowhere she can go, so she just sits back down on her bed.
Okay, and he'll pretty much head up toward the quartermaster. Probably around the same time Naoka goes back.
Okay. While all of this is happening, does anyone else want to do anything?
There's one thing that I'm also going to mention to the quartermaster.
Go ahead.
He's going to ask if there's like a version of the Helm of Comprehend Languages that just comprehends Common, and explain that they have a Null with him, and it's increasingly difficult to communicate with Null.
And Aurelius can. Let us see.
Naoka doesn't really. Naoka agrees with dueling on that. Team dueling.
Shelby, roll me a D100.
Oh, goodness. You're talking to the guy that rolled a 0 and a 2.
I know.
Oop, I almost did 1,004.
28.
That would have been good for a 20.
She's going to shake her head and say, no, last I have of something of that nature would be this. She's going to go to one of the safety boxes. And it's at this point Azure is like walking in. And she's going to, in the box are several wands. And she pulls one out and says, This one has the ability to cast a spell that could aid in the assistance of comprehending other languages and other tongues.
How many charges does it have? Will it work for our Knoll friend?
She will nod and say it will work on anything. Only 4. And it recharges each day. It's a chance to turn to dust if you use all of them.
A rare wand that recharges itself. Well made.
That could work. Aurelius said he would pay for it.
Roll me a deception check.
Oh, please. Are you going to help me, Azure, so I can roll with advantage?
No.
Azure, break the law? Why? I never.
Big money, big money. Not bad.
She's going to say, that man needs to pursue the proper channels. He can't just send his agents down here and say that, or he can't just send his lore keepers down here with IOUs. She'll put the wand in Nyoka's hand and say, this and this only. Anything else, if I don't have a proper form from him, you can tell him that he'll be answering to the council or to the Senate.
Understood.
And at which point she'll raise a hand and say, oh, I finished your pouch. And like I surmised, I destroyed the magic that regenerates it.
Okay.
And she's going to hand it to Nyoka. Nyoka, it has 10 slots on it. It can hold a pinch in each slot. It can be then retrieved with, let's see,
I need to write this down then.
Yeah.
Okay. Give it a good name, Brandon.
We'll call it, let's see, what is this lady's name? Coven, the quartermaster is Freyda Nia. So we'll call it a Freyd's Handy Spice Pouch.
Freyd's Handy Spice Pouch.
Yeah.
AKA Nyoka's smell bag.
Yeah, and it has extra dimensional storage in each of the small slots. It's a bonus action to retrieve something from it.
So it has 10 pouches?
Yes. And I'll say it's only big enough for Nyoka to get 2 fingers into these pouches. But I'll say each space is about 5 inches in diameter. Does that make sense, Shelby?
Well, yeah, so he just reaches 2 fingers in and pulls out whatever thing.
Excuse me. And I'll say it can't be turned inside out like a regular bag of holding because of all the little pouches, but if it's ever severed, the contents spill out from the cut.
That's fine.
All right, Azure is down there. Did Azure want to say anything to
Nyoka? By the way, Nyoka also asked, since he sees the bag, he asked for a vial so he can pour in a little bit of phoenix blood, because he likes the smell of phoenix blood.
Yeah, she'll provide you a glass vial without having to pay for it. They have a multitude here.
What was her name again?
Freyda Nia.
Freyda Nia, okay. Quartermaster Freyda Nia, greetings.
She'll.
I am.
Okay.
I am in search of maybe a used or reworked suit of half plate. What do you have?
Well, you're in luck because that is in the player's handbook. So she'll sell you a suit of half plate, easy peasy for its base price out of the player's handbook, which is 750 gold. And she'll,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, he's.
Oh, go ahead.
He'll emphasize the used or reworked part, and even if it's just come in disrepair, like that would be fine as well. But he would rather not pay full price right now. And just trying to persuade her down on the price.
She is gonna nod, and you are actually in luck. There is half plate she will sell you that just came in. She doesn't want to spend the time mending all of the different cuts, scrapes, scratches, stains on it, and refurbishing it and restoring it. That said, she'll sell it to you for a third of the price, which is like 215 gold. But Azure is going to notice this is Dean Doolin's half plate.
Okay. Done deal.
Should have just kept it for yourself anyway.
All right. You can add Dean Doolin's scuffed half plate to your inventory. It looks like normal half plate, or rather, it functions as normal half plate, except it's got the tarnish of a fight on it.
Okay. 215. All right, I accept it and thank her.
All right. Is everybody cool with skipping to the morning?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I have a question. Nyoka and Kaya received some concerning information on each of their parts. Would they wait to share that with the party in the morning, or would they just keep that to themselves?
Nyoka tells Kyath anything because he's friend. So if Kyath isn't sleeping, he would.
Well, how about we handle it in the
him.
morning? Of like, because I could just imagine Nyoka like sitting there, like wagging his tail or something, waiting for like Kyath to wake up.
Oh, I would have gotten a receipt.
Okay, yeah. And she'll provide you with one. She fills out the proper paperwork. Is that cool, Shelby? Waiting till morning?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, he'd wait right outside the door,
All
or
right.
if allowed, he'd wait right beside his bed. Ow, dog.
Kyath has an alarm spell around his bed every night now after that bloody lizard wet willy.
Yeah, hovering around the edge of the alarm spell, Kyath is going to wake up. In the party, of course, there's limited housing inside of the Mave. There's actually a boarding house that most agents stay at as they pass in and out of the city. So staying at that boarding house, I actually have the name of it here. The Tired Priest. The party all wakes up in their individual rooms, minus Nyoka and Kaya, unless anybody wanted to bunk up with someone.
Oh, one thing
is the morning
Nyoka.
of the 26th.
Nyoka mentions to Azure if he's checked on the halfling since he's been here.
I intended to this morning. Thank you for the reminder. Furthermore, I need to speak to someone about Dean.
Okay. So, let's just go through the entire party. I would say the party is like all meeting up, or getting up, stretching, walking out of their corridors, walking to the common room, getting some food. As Kayeth goes to do that, then he's going to encounter Nyoka first, and then we'll get with the rest of the party.
Nyoka is, because I've talked a lot tonight, I don't want to take a lot of time with this. Nyoka's going to tell him about last night. Mention that he helped ladies off because he felt like he owed her. And then he's going to say, and Nyoka helped Kyrith with teaching Lassie, and he hands him the wand.
So am I to understand that you lied? Do you tell him everything about the wand? The lying to the quartermaster part?
No, he's going to.
Okay.
Hold on. He's going to lie to you.
Let's go, Nyoka. Truth is but an illusion we tell ourselves.
And he tells a really good story about how he worked hard with Aurelius, and Aurelius said that he would take care of it.
Well done, Nyoka. That's a very good initiative. You solved our problem, and it's hard to talk Aurelius out of money, but well done. But Morgan, I would appreciate it if you decide to go over my head in the future and talk to our superiors, that you inform me beforehand, or if I came along with you, perhaps. It's important that we consciously cultivate our reputation amongst the senators in particular. So please inform me in the future before you start speaking to the higher ups.
Nyoka apologizes and say, not Nyoka's intention to talk to that high up. Lady Ember, was that her name?
Simmer.
Lady Simmer had us go to that high up. Not Nyoka's attention. So he apologizes to Kyra because he wasn't intending to go that high up. He just thought it was important. So he made sure not to mention you. So that it will blow back on Nyoka only.
And Kayeth will give the wand back to him and say, well, now you have your means of communicating with Lassie, and hopefully this will aid you in your mission to support him in his new world. Shall we join the others?
Yes. And I'm going to do one more thing, if I can.
Go ahead.
I'm going to hand the wand back into Kyra's pouch. Or bag.
Okay. And let's see. You are able to do so. So the party is about to all be together, and as you guys are all coming together in this common rooms, I have one more question for you, Shelby. When you were going over the list of information that Nyoka told Kayeth about his conversations, did he mention the senator's hesitations and why the senator was hesitating?
He mentioned that the senator seemed unimpressed with helping. Not necessarily the hesitation to help. And then explain the story about the thief. So, if Kayeth is smart, can put 2 to 2 together for the hesitation.
Okay. Yeah, Kayeth can be entitled to the same intelligence check with disadvantage. JV. Okay, cool. I see it.
Well, you're a lot smarter than Nyoka.
Yeah, loose areas come to your mind of trying to think of like the same thing that the senator is, of like where are areas that no silver sigil agent has been able to get into, and so far you come up with nothing on that. Otherwise, the party is all united in the common rooms. You're all together.
Oh.
Wilbert's sober.
And dead.
Wow.
Me, just to the bottom.
Before Nyoka and Kyrith go to meet everybody, Nyoka asks, "Are we getting paid?"
I expect so, Nayoko. Good morning, everybody. I hope you slept well, and I hope your head is well, Wilbur.
No.
Yes.
Good morning.
And
I have a receipt for you here.
did you? What's the receipt for?
Hang on, the half plate I'm wearing.
Did you spend the party's money, the party funds on this half plate?
Yes. You gave me gold earlier for
Without-
horses, and I've used it for this.
Azure, the protocol for spending party funds is to check beforehand, not spend it, and come back with a receipt. That was, I would have liked to have been consulted before you spend our collective money.
Oh, my apologies. Do you approve? I will be your shield in combat.
Brom slaps his shoulder and says, I like it.
Very displeased, but good half plate. Anyway, so today, hopefully we'll get paid. Hopefully we'll have a bit of downtime. Is there anything else people want to share with the whole party? Did anyone else spend money?
Did I?
Good.
You did not.
Any other announcements for the whole group before we go about our day?
Don't
We might try to keep Dean Doolin alive.
Oh yeah.
She seems potentially redeemable.
Yes.
There is hope.
I am going to be trying to, just so everybody knows, I am concerned that our superior is not, shall we say, acting on all the information with the most speed and accuracy, and I'm going to be trying to raise our superiors higher up the food chain awareness of this. So hopefully the whole organization can be protected. Keep this to yourself, but if you do have any connections with people who might be able to review Anoralis's work, that would be appreciated. And
It
that's
would be
my
nice be nice to see his incompetence gone.
Yes, but he is still our superior, and we should respect that.
Good luck. If you need my help, let me know.
Very well. Any other announcements for the group?
Oh, Brandon.
Yes.
Is that check enough to know whether or not this paper is magical or not?
I am checking for you right now. Let us see. So, yeah, you are aware that this paper, the ink on it, isn't the ink actually doesn't follow the flow of the paper. You can assume the ink of those three dots it's generated and somehow by magic, but as to like what magic or what's going on with it, you've got nothing.
So he's gonna fish the thing out of his pocket. Fish it out of his pocket, like slap it on the table. It's magic.
Why, yes, it is. What is it? What else do you, what about it?
Main ink's magic. Paper is not magical.
And?
That's about it. I haven't opened my eyes yet this morning.
Oh, you need to seek more.
Well, to that note, I've got questions. So, if this is some kind of initiation, and I'm here in your headquarters, that presents kind of a conundrum, wouldn't you say there, Chief?
I believe that your official role, until you can solve the riddle, is as Azure's personal assistant. So you can talk to Azure about your payment and supervision. And as long as he stakes your good behavior in headquarters, it will be acceptable.
What counts as good behavior?
I'm sure Azure can explain that to you at length.
Yes, I can. Furthermore, just keep asking the right questions, and perhaps things will come to light for you.
Well, I suppose I should elaborate on what I was unable to last night. I mentioned I was a smith and a carpenter and all that good stuff, but the most important part was I can produce magic and put it into items. Like this bag, for instance.
Oh yes.
So...
About the bag.
Yeah, and this jug is magic. So... I'll be willing to cut you all a pretty good deal. Those are the that's stuff I can make overnight. Otherwise, it takes time.
That's great.
Oh.
So what about the paper?
I mean, it's a paper with magical dots, magical ink dots.
So, how do you pursue magical things?
Take it apart, put it back together, figure out how it works.
That would be an interesting attempt.
You understand? I ain't a scholar. Whatever I learned of magic, I figured out on my own.
Well, then you're surrounded by scholars.
Nyoka knows scholar.
How did you figure it out?
I beat up the test giver until he told me the answer.
I like you.
Well, you've got good half plate now, so hopefully it'll be harder to beat you up as well.
That half plate needs some work.
Yes.
I can fix that for you.
Oh, excellent. Appreciate it.
I'll even cut you a deal. Here's what I'll do. I'll fix up that plate for you. If you, and all I'll charge you is make this puzzle go away.
I'm
trying to put his hands over his
trying
ears.
to help you without.
I suggest the two of you continue this conversation in private. As the test giver, Azure, you are not to give the answer away. That is the clear instructions. But I really like your initiative, Wilbert. You're on the right line of inquiry. I cannot be part of this conversation.
I'm going to pause the conversation real quick and say, Annie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Lex feels a tap on their shoulder, something hard pushing them forward momentarily. And this is
Lex
like
is gonna
at the start of this conversation as this is going on.
Yeah. Okay, Lex is gonna kind of try and see over their shoulder, just kind of like glancing just a little bit, kind of nervous.
You see Lazzy with the butt of its spear pushing into your shoulder. Lazzy points at its eyes and then to its mouth.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means.
That's cool. That's why I needed to know what Lex does in this situation. Because if Lex does nothing, Lazzy is going to slam the butt of its spear into the ground and begin yapping furiously and say, interrupting this conversation.
Yeah. Lex is just weirded out.
It is going
maybe
to
you can give the wand
against
Lex.
the wall.
Nayoka don't have the wand. It's in your back.
Very unhappy, Nayoka.
He's probably hungry.
You must be hungry, Kyrith. You forget that, give it to Nayoka. You put it in your bag.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a
Kyrith will get the wand.
Check.
Kyrith will get the wand and give it to Lex. Nayoka procured this. It should be able to communicate with Lazzy in some way. Maybe it's useful for you.
Nayoka help Lex by telling her what it is.
Please.
It's a wand of comprehension. There's 4 charges, so if you target Lazzy and Lazzy will be able to understand you. Or you can target yourself and you'll be able to understand Lazzy. But you won't be able to. It's not a 2-way conversation, it's only a 1-way, so sign language is going to be happening at some point.
Does Lex use the wand?
Actually,
yes.
Actually, Brandon,
Yes.
Does it allow you to speak comprehension, or is it just I understand what you're saying to me, but I still...
You understand any spoken language that you hear. You also understand, but you must be touching the surface. It I would say it doesn't give you the ability to speak.
communicate, right? Yeah. So it's you only understand. So in English terms, I can speak to you in Spanish, but you still would not understand me. You would understand me, but couldn't respond back.
Yeah. Does Lex use the wand?
Yes.
All right.
Which way?
What
do you use it on yourself, or do you use it on Lazzy?
Might as well last.
You use it on Lazzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hear.
Lazzy can understand you now, but Lazzy, you still don't know what yet Lazzy is communicating as Lazzy begins yapping furiously.
Okay. Didn't Kaya?
I can no longer help, I'm sorry. I've lost the ability to understand Lazzy.
Oh.
You used the second charge of the wand on yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Annie, can you reconnect again? You got quiet.
Yeah, your audio.
Oh.
Oh wait, that's good. That's good. I hear you. Fine.
Okay. Sorry, I moved my phone away. That's probably why.
Okay,
oh yeah.
Cool. Using it on yourself, Lazzy is saying over and over and over again, saying, "You say Lazzy speak to biggest giant. Lazzy only talk to small giants. We're big giant. Lazzy has giant to please. Lazzy must speak to biggest of big giants or get back to brothers. As it says this over and over and over and over again.
Okay. Can Lex talk to the group?
Yeah.
Okay, so, he keeps insisting that he has to go back because he has to please his big giant? I think, yeah. So, I'm not sure what he should...
Is that all he's saying?
Yeah, he's basically just repeating the same thing over and over again.
Lazzy is going to say, Lazzy can say more, because Lazzy can hear you and understand you now, and say, Lazzy can say more, but your companion's stupid. They not learn tongue while young.
He's calling all of you stupid, which, except for Kayeth, anyways, he's basically calling all of you stupid, and he needs you all to help him.
That's a lot of talk coming from a dog face.
Yeah,
Lazzy
he
is going
says...
to point to Wilbert and say, see, that one move. Its mouth makes sound, but but just nonsense come from it.
What's it saying?
Lazzy doesn't understand...
Wait. Wouldn't he understand all common now?
Oh wait, he does.
Wait, oh!
Yeah. At which point, yeah, he'll say, "Dog, Lazzy is very, very, very menacing gnoll."
So,
Lazzy yaps towards Wilbert.
Well, Wilbert's gonna. I guess he can read that body language. Just can't stand up. It's like, all right, what do you got? Something more to say? Let's go.
Nyoka holds up his hand and looks at Lazzy and says, "Lazzy, Nyoka, understand you have issue that you're trying to do for your tribe, but it's been a long time since you got possessed by Ghost. You remember Ghost, right?"
Yeah.
Lazzy is going to nod and say, Lazzy no like spirit.
I'm just looking for a head nod. If he does that, then Nyoka's going to continue. Nyoka afraid that if you go back, all you do is lose your own life. What did you need to do again to appease the Grand Moto?
Lazzy's going to say, Mojo Moto wants money for weapons. Gnolls need better things for stabbing. Other giants will fear Mojo Moto's wrath with gnolls at charge.
So
do I translate? Wait, does Nyoka also understand him?
No. Nyoka's just gonna look at you and go, "Oh my God."
What the heckity heck? So, he's restating what he said the first time that we met him. Mojo Moto needs his assistance to get stuff, and then he wants people to fear Mojo Moto because he's the big giant. But that's basically it.
Nyoka is gonna look at Lazzy and say, "Look, Lazzy, we more powerful than Mojo Moto. We're just a small group, but all around here, lots of powerful mages can bring down Mojo Moto. We are working to help you." You remember? Do you remember in Mojo Moto's group there were lizard men too? Nyoka from that group. Nyoka understand.
Lazzy is going to shake his head and say, "Small giant's dumb."
Does Lex translate that?
Lex does not.
Oh, okay.
Lex is kind of just like, okay, let's continue.
Who did you say that to? Did you say it in Nolish or did you say it in?
I just said that in common. He understands common now, so I was just like, whatever.
Ayoka, perhaps your mission today can be to help Lazzy, since you're the one who decided that he should.
Yes, there may be people here that have interest in helping diverse cultures.
Naoka looks very uncomfortable. He doesn't like being volunteered.
Kaya smiles. Lex, can I have a word with you in private after we?
Yeah.
Does anyone have any words they wish passed on to the halfling? The wharf master.
Absolutely. That was one of the missions that I had to do today. I was keen to catch up with the Scalen Kalanara because I'm looking for a clerk, and so I was going to offer him a job. So if you could inquire into his availability, that would be most helpful. I can pay up to 2 gold per day.
I will relay this job offer for him.
Lazzy is going to grumble at this, as he can now understand the party. And he's going to huff at Lex and say, "You have heart like Knoll. Why waste time on dumb small giants? That one be dead before sunrise."
Which one's he pointing?
Yeah, which one is he pointing?
He's pointing at
Lex is gonna say this in Nolan. No, she's just gonna say it in common. He's not that weak. You have to go for Kayeth first.
Excuse me?
Lex, everybody understands, but nobody knows where that even came from.
Lazzy is going to shake his head, and he is going to laugh and say, "Haha, you see, Lazzy proved me right."
Oh my god. I'm not gonna translate that.
Naoka is going to tell Lazzy, before spell wears off, we should come up with some sign language, some motions of hand, so you understand what we say.
Yeah.
And Naoka is going to do a ball up a fist and hit chest, and he's going to say, "This mean friend." And then he's going to put his finger across his throat, and he said, "That means enemy."
Friend and enemy. Lazzy is going to note both of those, and
I think Naoka is only going to teach him about 5 things: guard, follow, stay, friend, enemy.
You better throw in hungry.
Okay, 6 things, and then hungry.
Kaith is going to speak telepathically to Naoka, not willing to speak out loud, saying, "You forgot, sit and roll over."
Oh my god.
Lazzy is going to speak up and say, where is dumb woman? You speak lots yesterday, talking. Dumb woman not here.
Do you mean... Okay. I'm guessing that you mean, what's her name again?
Dean?
Dean Dolan. I'm guessing you mean Dean Dolan.
Lassie is going to nod and say, yes, Dean. Her stupidness is infectious.
Well... Lex is trying very hard to be serious, but it's not working.
Kayeth wants to cast suggestion on Lassie.
What's Kayeth suggest?
Yeah.
DC 14, I think it is.
Okay.
Follow Nyoka everywhere and do not let him leave your side.
You're
right.
such an ass, Jamie. I love you.
Lassie is going to fail that spell.
Oh, you suck, Brandon. I did not hear a roll.
Oh, I did. I rolled. I'm on paper. It was a 6 before any of his bonuses. He doesn't have a wisdom bonus, so yeah.
Fair enough.
But does Lex say what happened to Dean?
They're gonna summarize it, basically. Dean was a prisoner, and that's probably why she was so stupid. They say it in Nolish again.
Lassie's going to laugh and say, she have heart like Noel too. That one escaped death a lot. Maybe not so stupid.
I suppose so. Well then, is there anything else you needed?
Does Lassie understand the concept of gambling? Let's roll.
Probably not.
Yeah, let's roll Lassie a intelligence check. Sure.
Wait, he understands?
Yeah, Lassie is going to say, next hunt all Lassies if Lassie is right.
Wait, why? Why?
Lassie's going to say it's a bet.
Oh my god. Lex is gonna say, in slightly terrified letras, oh my god, he knows what gambling is.
What are you gambling with him about?
Wait, can you understand letras?
Lassie can. Lassie understands all spoken communication currently. Lassie's the smartest Knoll in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of sad, but also kind of cool.
How long is this one?
1 hour.
Oh, good. We got an hour of this.
Does Lex tell Azure what Lassie's gambling on?
Yeah.
Does
Could
Lex
you remind me what he's gambling on? No.
Azure gun.
Yeah,
Get
Lassie
killed.
will point to Azure and say, dumb one, dead by sunrise.
Oh, I'm curious.
How much money do you
why does
have,
he consider
Lassie?
that I'm dumb?
Wait, does Azure understand?
No,
No.
Azure
Okay.
does not.
Okay, that's great.
Is that what she relayed to me, or what?
No, I have not. I just said, okay, we're betting on something about you. Don't worry about it.
How much money
so-
does Lassie have? Lassie
Yeah.
is going to say money. Money is thing for Mojo Moto and small giants of Dagger Gully. Lassie have hunt is good at it. Lassie share hunt, but Lassie not share hunt if Lassie win.
Sure. Just until tomorrow, right?
Lazzy is going to nod.
All right.
Ioka asks Lex if she'll help him. We need to try and teach him common during this time.
Oh.
And since he already knows that Kyath has made Lazzy follow Nyoka around, Nyoka is going to try and help him learn common.
Yeah.
As you guys are finishing up on this, Lazzy is going to chuckle walking up to Azure. Lazzy is going to say, "Can they understand me? Can they understand
Lex is gonna say in English, they can't, not yet.
You can't speak English, you can only speak common, which...
Oh, yeah. I just say, no, they can't, not yet.
So Azure will try to read into Lazzy's body language and stuff.
Okay. Lazzy walks up to you and places a hand on your head of a gentle cat, which is very, very strange, and another soft hand with its paw and the fingers of it as he rubs your neck up and down, just tilting your head back a little bit. You can roll an insight check.
Lex is just gonna
You're very confused by this action. What's Lex do? Oh, you got real quiet again, Annie.
You went away, Lex.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, give me
there.
1 sec then.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, is it back? Okay. Yeah, Lex is just gonna say, don't die until tomorrow.
Alright, so Azure will probably swat his hand away and shake his head.
Okay.
Meeting his eyes.
Lazzy is going to look towards Lex and say, "No help! You know, have heart like Null."
Hand up on his two-handed sword. Tilts his head sideways.
Lex isn't translating anymore. Lex is just watching this.
I think it fancies you.
Who knows? Except for Lex.
Lazzy. Alright, do we end there, or does Lazzy take one more movement? Oh, you know what? Lazzy will take another movement, because why not? Lazzy is going to say, "If you help, I help." And Lazzy is going to gesture for Azure. And oh man, this is weird. Lazzy gestures as if he's holding something and starts sticking out his tongue as if he's like lapping up something at Azure. Azure, you have another chance to make an insight check on what Lazzy wants you to do. You know what? I'm going to give you advantage on it. Not because I want you to pick it up, but because Lazzy rolled so well on their performance chat that they're communicating this idea well. And with that, like, Lazzy has almost a bowl motion, or almost holding a bowl, but you're able to put it together. It drinks differently than you. It wants you to drink something. And like as it starts clicking, Lazzy's gonna say, "Yes, drink, drink."
Alright. Well, Azure take his water skin and toss it to Lazzy.
All right.
Now,
I hope Lazzy
Azure
doesn't poison him.
tosses Azure's water skin towards Lazzy.
Yes.
Lazzy's
Oh my
going
God.
to take it, look at Lex, and grin a big toothy grin. And Lazzy's going to look back towards Azure on
Oh my
Cork
gosh.
the water skin. And Lazzy gestures for Azure to drink too, as it starts tilting the water skin up towards its mouth.
Does he think he's gonna die because he doesn't have water?
Does Azure look for another water skin?
No.
You don't drink?
No, I won't.
Yeah, Lazzy doesn't drink, he's waiting for you. Lazzy is going to walk forward to Azure and start going through his stuff. At which point, Lazzy pulls out a water skin out of out of Dean Doolin's bag and shoves it into Azure's chest. Azure takes your water skin and tilts his head back, waiting for you to drink with him.
Oh?
I'll smell the water skin.
Does Azure have a sense of smell? Roll a perception check.
How about Lex just like takes it from him and swaps it with theirs? Lex just like gently takes it, just like, how about we don't do that?
That's cheating. That's cheating.
I need to win my bet. Excuse me.
Azure. That water smells like it's got heavy amounts of minerals inside of it. When you uncock it, and it does not hit your nose right. That said, when Lex takes it and swaps for their water skin.
Okay, how about hers?
Lazzy doesn't like that. Lazzy's gonna pounce on Lex and say, "You cheat! You cheat! You help, Lazzy help, but you help more. That's not fair! Give water skin back to dumb man." As it begins to wrestle this water skin from you. Oh no.
What?
The water skin was on Cork. Lex, this water splashes in the air. You can roll me a dexterity saving throw for free if you want. Otherwise,
Let me see.
I'm rolling.
I have my computer set up, so I just need to do a thing. Okay. Dexterity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trying to remember how to click that. Oh, there we go. How was that?
That's great.
Okay. Wait.
As,
oh, that's
water,
not good at all.
As this water comes down, it is going to splash over Lex and Nyoka. Nyoka's not entitled to the same throw.
Hey.
It's not dangerous to Nyoka.
True.
Oh no.
At which point, both Nyoka and Lex are going to take 4 points of necrotic damage as this water contacts with their skin. Nothing happens at first, and then you see your flesh itself start to wither and age.
Ow.
Lazzy is going to say, "No! No!" And it's going to smack the water skin from your hand and say, "Fine! Lazzy share hunt. You dumb too."
Lex is just going to accept it. They won their bet. That's all that matters.
So, does it seem like there's still more liquid in that?
In the pouch, it's pouring over the floor, but yes, you can stop it.
No, I'll pick it up from the other side and help it to empty out.
Oh, hey, you're undead. This stuff has no effect on you.
Oh.
Ah!
I thought
That would
I
have been
wish
funny.
I was undead.
Yeah, even I'm
All
not
right, then
gonna make
I'll-
you roll a check. Like, even if like a little bit of this splashes on your hand,
so.
it's like, what's
So
the
if
problem?
I was undead, did it actually hurt me at all, or no? You said it didn't affect me, but then you gave me damage, so I'm just.
Yeah, Nyoka's creature type is not undead. Correct, right? Because he's a revived rogue.
Yeah, I'm a revived rogue.
Yeah,
so, it's
so,
weird.
yeah.
I'm in the weird spot. So.
Nyoka takes 4 necrotic damage. I'm not making Steve roll for Azure handling this because it is wouldn't matter in either way.
Well, I guess could Azur, before he dumps it out, could he check if
It's worth noting this has had no effect on the water skin or the floorboards.
Okay, so does he have some experience with something like this where he might know that it wouldn't hurt him because of his condition? Or...
Go for it. You can roll me a history check. So for Azure, actually, this is a little bit easier. You are undead. Studying your condition, one of the fastest ways to, and this is like just once you spend enough time in this form, you just kind of like learn about, your culture. One of the fastest ways to spread your condition to other people is blighting them and withering away like their life force.
That sounds like COVID-19.
Yeah. And
wait, are we allowed to say that on stream?
Sure, I don't care. We had a warning at the start. You would know that one of the fastest ways to spread a blight of something like this would be through water.
Okay. And seeing their damage, would I know anything about if I can take damage like that?
Seeing their damage, you're loosely aware kind of just like, oh, if this is some, disease upon death or against life force, I don't have any.
Okay, he'll call Lazzy's bluff and actually save some of the water. And just like salute him. Wink and drink it.
Oof, this stuff tastes foul. Lazzy will look up from on top of Lex. Its mouth going open with excitement. Lazzy is going to look down at Lex and say, "Lazzy gonna win."
Lex is gonna. Does he even have a shirt?
Stink water.
Does he even have a shirt on?
Lazzy does not. Lazzy has a necklace of swords.
I was gonna pick him up by his shirt, but I don't want to kill him by pulling him up by his necklace. So we're not gonna do that. Lex is just gonna basically shake him off, just like, ew, get away.
Mm-hmm.
Nyoka is going to look at Lex and say in Thieves' Cant, "What the hell is with that water?"
Lex.
Azur pours a rest out.
Contact. Yeah.
Lex, we can't quite hear you again.
Yeah, Andy, you got quiet.
Sorry.
To everybody else, it was Nyoka is asking if it was really sunny outside.
Mm-hmm. Can you say that again, Annie?
She avoided eye contact.
Oh, okay. Lex avoided eye contact. Fair. All right. Yeah. Otherwise,
Does Brom know that that's from Dean Doolin's bag?
I mean, you saw Lazzy pull it out of Dean Dolan's bag.
Brom just looks at JV's character's name and is just like Kayeth, and he's just like puts his hands up. He's like, now she's killing people? What the hell?
She's not doing anything. This Lazzy is I don't know what's going on here, and I don't care, to be honest. You all can sort it out.
Lex is gonna go over to Dean.
You cut out again. It's gonna go over where?
Can I go Dean Dolan's bag?
Okay. What do you look for in the bag?
I'm just gonna look through she has.
And see what she has. You find this water skin. You find the debt bonds in there.
No, I put those in my pack already.
Oh yeah. Those were in your pack. She would have a whole nother set of chain in here, and
I already got 2 sets of her chain.
Okay, yeah, you took that out, and Brom took out her slave's collar that she had in here.
That's around her neck.
Yeah, and anything else of note in here? Oh, I suppose she would have rations, and she'd probably have like 2 empty vials in here and another water skin that's empty.
You take the what? Can you move your phone in front of your mouth?
Is it just being glitchy again?
We just couldn't hear you because you were further away, maybe?
Maybe.
You sound good now.
It's... Okay. Apologies.
Okay, you took what?
Can I take the water pouch that's not empty and the rations?
No, because I poured it out already.
No.
Didn't he say that there was it's empty.
Oh, okay. Then just the rations, please.
Okay. You are able to do so. I think what we'll do for tonight is we will end on a free intelligence check for the party.
Oh.
Hey, Brendan.
Yes.
Does that Arcana check be able to do it?
That 18, yeah, you're going to see it is an illusory script on this paper. It is hiding something. Brom and Kayeth. Information to end off on tonight. You are very confused about what's going on here. In front of, or what's happening here, as Lazzy knew whatever this was that Dean Dolan was carrying was eventually going to kill what's his face, Azure. That said, you guys try and place all of this together with your experiences, and Dean Dolan came up from the same region that you guys did. Presumably, if she was living off of the land as, she was traveling, she probably got local water and things like that as she was passing through. And the elf you saw inside of the bog that was doing a ritual on those springs jumps into your mind as a connection of Dean likely passed through that region too, either before or after you guys. Which kind of places of like, who would blight water? Who's capable of such a thing? Why would Dean have it? And why would Lazzy know she has it? And I think that is a point for us to end on tonight.
One quick thing though before we do that.
Yes.
Wilbert's gonna kind of slap the table again. It's like illusory script.
Oh, getting somewhere, aren't you?
Somewhere.
Wilbur, we're kind of concerned about our paladin almost dying here, so. All right, so we are going to move on from there, and we'll do experience for tonight. The storyline, Steve, I don't like you. I was waiting for somebody to tell me of like who took Dean Doolin's satchel, and when you said Azure has, I was like, the one party member immune to disease, the one party member immune to poison. Like, all right, fine. But yeah, I figured it's best getting that out of the way tonight, which is why I went long, because I didn't want to deal with it in the future anymore. Because you ruined my storyline, Steve. I'm kidding. But good session tonight. Just a nice slow session. Frickin' Brom bringing the emotion.
Hey.
Yeah, everybody with that role play with Dean. I think I'll save major experience for converting Dean, major experience for Nyoka putting, or rather helping reveal that Beechwood Retreat is getting hit hard, but as to why someone would do it is really silly. And I'm going to put major inspiration for surviving the blight poison, which was definitely going to inebriate one of your party members randomly. But yeah, with that 3 ticks of major experience, I'm going to move you guys... No, I'm not going to move you guys up an experience threshold yet. And I'm going to say for tonight, 450 experience and inspiration for Bram. And yeah, I feel like that's a good summary of the session. If anybody else can make a case for a moment... Oh, you know what? I'm going to say inspiration for Wilbur, too. Because I don't think Wesley had much of an idea of how Wilbert got here, and we came up with that like right before the session. I just thought that was like a really great role play in general.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you guys want normal inspiration, or do you want me to roll?
I would like you to roll, because I think I already have normal inspiration.
All right, first one is for Brom, and second one is for Wilbur. All right, and your next session is on the 16th. Thank you guys for playing late with me tonight, and I will try not to go as late next time.
What was the amount again? 450?
450 experience.
Okay, I wasn't here last session, so how many points of experience do we have in total now?
Yeah, that's a good question.
5,114?
Mm-hmm. That's what I get too.
Yep.
Wait, so how much again?
5114.
Apologies. Okay. Thank you.
So I get a prayer for a level 1 spell?
Yes.
What spell do I get, or is it any spell?
It's any spell. So